welcome back to HighPriest reacts to Hunter the, well, I say back, but to Hunter the Parenting, the spiritual successor to If the Emperor Had a Text-Speech Device. Unfortunate fact, they had to cancel that series for fear of the sick bag that Games Workshop going after them. If I understand, this is set in the World of Darkness. Not sure if it's old or new World of Darkness anymore. I think I remember saying point. And from judging by the thumbnail, we've got the poured over characters of Biggie, Lord Adornable, Russ, and Magnus. I am looking forward to see if Kitten is also involved, and if the Pillar Studies will be around in some form or another. I really like the Pillar Studies are hilarious, and I really appreciate this little character development they got and the actual characters. Food, you know. They had to abandon the plot lines, but maybe, if I understand, they want to at least keep something of the characters that they developed alive in some form. I'm just not 100% sure how it would work out. Yeah. And I'm hoping it maintains big quality. I'm probably only going to go up to chapter 3 because I'm using the chronological order playlist. That's when the second audio log comes up, and that thing's an hour long, and I don't have the time for that. If I had started immediately. Also, oh boy, I fucked up yesterday and accidentally streamed the entire Ratchet and Clank stream under the label of Metroid. Whoops. That'd be a fuck up. Anyway, let's start. Castlevania-esque background, while somehow also listening the feel of the last series. And yeah, all of those are recognizably the characters we know. I'm just hoping it manages to retain the energy of the presentation style. I don't want actual animation. I want bouncing and moving people. I mean, it is could in theory be said to be more animated than the other one, but it looks like we're still using the still imagery and just outside that window. I really love to look at it, and oh hey, he even got boy. And okay, really cool. This is obviously the opening, so I like to assume this is the opening. So, I really do am hoping this is more animated than I'm used to, but again, like I said, I'm hoping it maintains the bouncy, stretchy feel of the animation. Arc 1. Part 1 of 3. Oh, we got this one fully planned out. And Into the World of Darkness. Hold on. I have no fear about going back a bit just to read it because my grandpa told me to. That would be boy.
Have we arrived?
Yeah, okay, I am satisfied.
Around, everyone.
Big E is now Big D, of course. And he's the grandpa.
Bottom dollar, boy.
Pound, Dad. Bottom pound. We live in England now.
Never mind the fucking money, Marcus. Just breathe it in. That
I
fresh
guess it's Marcus. Okay.
plastic air. Ah, it's thick with geist.
There's the energy and there's the voices.
So,
So, obviously, we never got that level of physical energy
Why
from
don't you tell the
Big
family
E
where we are?
Right.
due to being a...
Your thing, sir.
Hello, sir. Come on, it's been years. Just call me Dad. Oh, Lord.
Huh, for some reason, I was pegging that one as Wolfie. I'm thinking Magnus. That's actually not Magnus. Russ. And I get that name mixed up. Well, now I feel very bad. That was Kin, which makes the most sense since they were the ones who always following him around. And I don't have the big D on his belt.
You can keep calling him D. Don't stress, love.
All right, Sir D.
Big D!
Ignore that.
Okay, so Norfolk's many ghost walks. It is allegedly.
Of course, he'd be happy with that name.
Wait, so suggestion, Dad. Maybe tell all of us where we are headed before we arrive next time.
This would be practical. Suggestion vetoed. Why? Because otherwise we'd have to hear Marcus whining about how he doesn't want to go.
I mean, yeah, so obviously we weren't going to get Rebel Voice Emperor anymore because
Complain?
this guy doesn't have a reason to do that.
To you, but
Okay, fine, but not like that. Not since I was like 15.
Well, yeah, I mean, wasn't your big 15 like last year? With the Magic Wizard card game and the clown?
That was my 30th birthday.
Clown birthday. This is what we video gamers call an epic failure, brother.
You've never even heard of Gmod Door.
I'm beloved.
You're what? All right, whatever. I don't respect time. It's an earliest concert. Now listen up! My darling son-in-law, you have graciously brought our attention to this ghost walk.
it is quite the trail in
Oh,
the area.
so we are absolutely shipping Magnus and Ken. I was not aware of that ship, but I'm willing to board it.
I like excitement.
So, this is that forest with all those
I will
active
stop I said something there, but wasn't game one to be too sure since
What?
What?
I wasn't sure that was the vibe they were going for in the old series.
Boy, purge yourself of cowardice. It's half the reason we're here. Father, a scary movie may have been a more appropriate first step. His first impression of terror shall be in real life, not a movie film. We shall throw the boy into the dread inferno.
I'm sorry, I repeat myself, but I'm so glad.
Hide
Look at animation
away
style.
in the conflagration. We are not throwing my son into a fire. Or I will find a way to make an analogy physical and then...
Dorn is door.
All right, hello. Sorry. Shall we go?
Please.
It's already 3rd croak after midnight. We need to get home in time for breakfast.
Fucking Norfolk! Very well, my sons. We go.
Obviously, there's a road to more animation because they made all the
Look alive,
assets,
boys.
had all the assets made
Unlike
for them.
Ghosts, the woodland corridor calls to us.
And yet, it still managed to
Eye out
perfectly
and
maintain
upper
the
space.
energy before.
No complaining, Marcus.
What complaining about, Marcus, is allowed.
Correct.
Bad Dad.
What?
And now we go.
So, how much of this place do you remember?
A little bit. Me and the lads used to dare each other to come down here alone.
Okay. These woods are
Ah,
bloody
so
creepy, so I get it.
Bloody Mary.
Quite contrary.
How does your garden grow?
Silver bells and cockle shells.
Cock!
Stop ruining the mood.
What are you talking about? Cogthorpe, relax. Just down the road from home.
Hey, did you know Cockthorpe has a church?
Okay, that's like saying Cockthorpe is a pub. That is literally the most mundane thing you could have said. What the fuck?
Relax. It's not a dying woman, probably. It's just a fox.
What?
Hey,
and of course, the good old
does this place
subtitles.
have
Love them.
any Scary urban
The very
legends?
descriptive
You know, aside
subtitles.
from those incredibly
Honestly,
correct
they're very good for,
impressions
being
of
closed
course, yeah,
captioning
a guy fell off
while
his
still
bike
being
here.
funny.
Fuck, scary. Anything else?
Okay, actually. You know Binham, about 4 miles from Warham?
I mean, yeah, quite close to Cockthorpe.
Okay, so, quick story. Back in
Perhaps I love that word a lot.
some Benedictine monks founded a priory down in Binham. But according to legend, its priors were corrupt and evil men. One of them even sold off the priory's valuables to fund some bizarre alchemical experiments.
You know,
So the question is,
always the alchemist, you don't.
Are they all hunters, or is this mixed splat?
Yeah, you really
I
tried
have
that
never
one.
played it. Oh, like of World of
Anyway,
Darkness, old or new.
Allegedly,
I know it's called
a secret
the new ones
tunnel
got
was
relabeled
built
with the
in Priory,
Chronicles, but
going between Binham
in my
and
head it's
the
old and
Lake
new.
Walsingham.
Easy way to remember it.
Walsingham. Isn't that 3 miles?
Yes. Others say that the tunnel actually leads between Binham and a guild house in Blakeney, which is even further. And some say it leads between both.
That's a lot of digging, isn't it?
In the time since, many accounts have been made of a
But I
figure
have done a
stepping
lot
out
of
from the tunnel
reading
beneath
of the
Binham
wikis and
Priory.
such, and
Black-hooded monk.
discussions on it, and watch playthrough.
The tale
And
of the
really want to
spectre
play,
eventually reached an intrepid fiddle player who decided to investigate.
Masquerade Bloodlines.
Before entering, the fiddler,
I
alongside his
want
trusty
to play for
canine
them.
companion,
But
offered a crowd of locals a
I
chance
thought
to
I'd really
accompany
need-
him on his subterranean trip by following the sound of his fiddle over ground. The strong reverberations of his music would be heard even through the earth, so he said. And indeed, it was. Playing all the while, the fiddler began his trek through the tunnel. The locals, listening intently, chased the sound of his music. All was seemingly well. Then, after about a mile of walking, the sound of his fiddle ceased. Sometime later, the locals found the fiddler's dog, wet and whimpering, but the fiddler himself was never seen again. This trail we're walking on leads across where this tunnel was supposedly would have gone between Binham and Walsingham, and it is said that sometimes you can still hear the distant sound of the fiddler, yet wandering the depths of the earth.
I
I'm going to not.
have learned to fear Brown Fiddle.
That's all I remember, though. I
Oh,
haven't
boy.
been around here since we were like 11, maybe.
That's all I remember. Fucking hell!
Like,
this is
I
better
can't imagine a
subject.
version of Magnus that isn't, or Marcus, that isn't at
Don't
least a
apologize.
mage.
I'm
Just like, you know,
always impressed.
Russ not being a werewolf.
Dad likes you more than me.
Makes sense.
What? Where did that come
It's
from?
fine. I like you more than him, so it evens out.
Lovely and dysfunctional.
You are mostly the former.
Nice. Shit, speaking of, actually, have you ever been in these parts?
Not really. At least nothing I remember.
That's fine, honestly. I don't think you missed anything special.
Ghost monkey!
Purge yourself of these noises, boy. Concentrate. You are the master of your reality. Whip it into submission with your giant, powerful arm.
I guess that's the only thing
And
that
of course,
make a
Big D is
sound
extra,
in the woods
extra,
are
extra.
bears
I love it.
And people. Was that a bear or a people?
Boy, do not speak to Krakus.
Well, I don't. He's just always screaming from the ditch.
Halt!
Who's Krakus, and how do you know who to talk to if you seem to be living on the road? It seems of it.
Let's go to the woods.
Already in the woods. Okay, that is what you meant.
Okay, I like this as a compromise. They have this very simple,
Come on.
basic
Stay close to me.
animation with the.
Dad, where the fuck are you going?
This isn't really part of the conventional Ghost Walk experience.
But yeah, I've learned a lot. Like, one of them. I'm hoping this does what it
Is that? Whoa.
Father,
then help
do you wish
introduce
to
people
enter
to
this hole?
the slow no slide.
She's at the ready. Going in.
I like that part of British rhythm sound. Is that when I meet oh, I'm stopping to read it, and also so we got these neat little cuts between scenes. Ain't much copy we're thinking about from his past money. You know, powerful other others. Mate, pronounced meat. Is entirely clever to store head, and he cannot nor cares to decipher the British language. Yeah, it sounds like something Dorn would do. Again, we're childhood friends before Marcus moved. Childhood friends, and they moved. So they originally were in Britain, and they moved elsewhere and met again at to the then party and great Yonoth. Had never had a kid and had never been had. I think there's a bit of a grammar error. The relationship might never have been had, and not teleprank Marcus into a vicious need to prove his gamer superiority. Top lasted 42 hours before the two Grim and Sleep 5 decided to get physical. Yet 16 to explain Odin Ken the pieces, but they are at least content. That's fine. Good way of explaining the history of these versions of the characters.
Holy shit, these must be the tunnels.
Translation of the other ones.
I wasn't even sure they were real.
Outside of
fucking hell.
Someone sharing names.
All right.
Like,
When you're out for fiddles, boy.
Wake up! Look at this.
But I don't think I'm getting there. But yeah.
Looks no worse than Marcus's.
Right. So
Looks no worse than your face.
Yes, it does.
Why are you looking at that?
All right, let's split up.
Any particular reason?
It shall be spookier that way.
Okay, Frederick from Spooby-Doo.
I really don't want to.
Come, boy. It's all right. Nothing here can hurt you. Except cadence.
And fiddle ghosts.
You always gotta watch for the little ghost, mate.
Curse.
no, that's fine. Yeah, they're thinking like spooking the shit out of their nephew.
Okay. Just keep swimming.
It occurs to me that it's probably too loud on. There we go.
Boy, no need to panic. Look, it's a picnic table.
But yeah.
Why is there...
It's a surprise for sure, but a welcome one. One of the greatest table designs known to man. The unity of table and bench. Pure in function, yet handsome in its form.
Yeah.
I'm 11.
A moment, boy. I must measure the board with.
Why?
It must be done, boy.
I love that goober. Thorn's great, or Door's great. Still great. That was a thing there. Sibling of.
Let go of him.
Alright, so basically, the basic premise of World Blackness List, which I know more about, is, technically speaking, all these stuff from the different splats, because each splat, splat will cover each all the various classes and such you can play per race. Thorn got bit, and that's not a good sign. Or what?
There are more of you here, aren't there? Light it up, Marcus.
Why, of course.
Alright, so not a mage. Maybe he'll become one. I hope so.
No, boy. They're vampires. Kindred.
Kindred, and there we go.
Probably just licks.
So Dorn's probably gonna be on. I think Warren's gonna become a vampire. I forget if you need to do the reciprocal blood share thing.
Shut the fuck up, shitbeard. You, ski goggles. Keep talking.
Yeah, each
I'm gonna make
race.
some guesses. You can tell me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Okay, so you are Sludge Lad.
What?
Sludge Lad. You know, easy to assume going by your ugly mug.
Sludge?
You, meanwhile, human-animal type vampire. Your vicious sideburns and a
I
massive...
will bite your cock off.
Cool. So, I would guess you are a biker bro black.
It's pronounced clan.
What? I'll write that down.
Yeah, different clans for vampires, a different so on. But basically classes with a bunch of other stuff being different things for different splats.
Ooh. And lastly, you are a vampire wizard.
How would you know this?
We have giant brains. You're not that hard for us to figure out.
Yeah, there are in fact these subgroup of vampires. This entire shtick is being the wizards.
Details. Now enough with the
I forget their names at the moment, but it's all blood magic. Yeah, they originated as a group of actual mages, but in the Middle Ages, but got themselves salt, which is then converted it over into vampirism. So, because they didn't like the drawbacks of being a mage and also immortality.
Well, boys, you've had your 15 minutes. Kill the hunters. Bathe us. That's the stuff. Scream for me.
I usually know the names of the different clans, but I think they'll blink them. But Bruja are the bestial ones. And yeah, usually associated with biker stuff. Each clan has a different personality type, partially because that's what they were for when they turn someone, partially because that's...
should have come here, bloodbags. The sword of Cain should cleave you in twain.
You think you're being funny?
I am not funny.
You're not.
I mean,
You're right. I mean...
any other tricks you had up?
Oh, and staking that guy for the heart would have killed him. It would have put him in torpor. Which, depending on how long it's been since he eat, how long it will be between him eating and recovering, getting the steak pulled out and such, could be lethal, but isn't guaranteed to be. The only one I remember offhand is the Malkavians, which is the prophetic ones, but they're also the ones cursed with mental issues. Lots of players abuse that to play little random characters, but it can be also used to do really comparing narratives where people have to deal with.
To kill, bloodbag. I can hear you.
Well, hey, you're the nastiest vamp I've ever seen.
But yeah, each and every
No, not really.
Goddamn teeth, lover boy!
Seems smarter than the other. But an angry vampire is unpredictable. Marcus, I got one!
Hell yeah, companion!
but they'll still die if you do enough damage.
Please. At least.
You little shitheel! You want to be embraced? What a little ass! Not on your life! You're me!
Oops. Looks like I embraced you. I got one too.
That was incredibly irrational.
Fuck you, Joel. I got him.
I think we all got one, actually. Anyone have an ice pack?
I got an ice pack.
You sure do, champ.
We almost died.
Marcus, your contraption has many problems. You could have tripped on the way here and hurt yourself.
But I didn't.
The vampires could have noticed and not jumped at you.
But they did.
Yes, this time. But next time, maybe you should just bring a gun.
Fuck you, America. Steak jacket is the best idea. Tell him, love. Tell him you think it's such a cool
The
idea.
jacket's very clever, Marcus, but... Hold on a second. Was that really all of them?
Not quite. I was waiting for you to notice.
Not a step closer! No harm shall befall me!
Gentlemen, this man is a wizard. I cannot
Move. Power
But yeah,
type strange.
Dominating our will.
wizard type train is a good way of putting it, but yeah. I think this might just be primarily based on Hunter with all the others being filling out the role. And that's an important thing. All those details, all that stuff. One of the most important is that each of these ones have a plot line leading to the end of days, the end of the world.
A legend.
And none of them are the same one.
The fiddler.
The fiddler? What the
In fact, a lot of them will
An ancient wives' tale, far beneath me! Kevin! But I would not bet against it! These mystic halls hide many secrets, but none for you to know, kind!
All your knowledge is ours now, tick. You and your whole little
But yeah,
rat pack are gonna sing like
In fact, a lot of them have
sopranos when we get
say
off
things
that
about the other
hill.
groups that are true and the others ones.
You foul
But you do got
swine.
interesting stuff.
You have made me so hungry.
Father! It's fine, my children. You have done me proud.
Enough! beast shall be denied no longer.
Yeah, the beast.
Oh, you dare die!
Oh, this sweet nectar, a delight for the senses, addicting, magical, lemon-scented, the great and mighty.
Oh my God, his face.
Do something. Do something.
If only I could.
It's a good thing I came here. Absolutely fucked on DMT.
I think that actually does work.
He knew that putting
Like,
narcotics in the system would befuddle
These
them.
vampire animals, each one has their own drawbacks, falling back to their ancestor.
The spell is broken, and with that,
They also grow stronger via generation due to, you know, the differences all the way from the source, with the most powerful and the founders of each clan being the antediluvians, the third generation vampires. I think it's third, it might be second, depending on how Kane counts. Look at there.
Mighty Kevin, you are shit, spit rotting in a
Except for the blood wizards.
side of the road.
The vampire wizards. They're a bit different, because they still fit the same role, but their antediluvian is technically a lot younger, so all of their generation, so they don't have to worry about that as much. So they used to, at least before they revived old world darkness. Be very controlling and not about who got embraced. I mean, the main vampire societies did that anyways in the modern world, but they were a lot worse.
Than we've ever caught before. Holy shit! I cannot wait. To
Like
get
the major
back
plot
to
point that it's
Santa.
only for specific reasons you're still alive. From them alone, let alone the normal stuff in the
Proud of your scholastic
one
habits.
game.
Just leave the wizard to me and I'll give you the lot.
But yeah, and the forefather of all vampires, either first generation or not counting at all, Kane, who has all the benefits of being a vampire while also technically being alive,
So heckin'
and thus being
Language.
one of the most powerful beings in
You're
setting.
doing well. Learning to sublimate
You don't fuck with
hate
Kane.
is part of becoming a
Nobody
werewolf.
fucks with Kane. He does what he wants.
Like me! Father, I don't think
Preference, vampire abilities are powered by Vatier, or blood. Being vampires, they have limited supply of this shit.
All I did was scream at
Being alive, and having regeneration, self-healing abilities, he is effectively an infinite font to that stuff. And the fact that, unlike vampires who are stuck with each of their, who are mostly stuck with what their clan has, with as abilities, with minor deviations in their ability to grow and well, and such within the vampire specialties, skills, and all that.
find out this time.
it's fine.
I forget what they're called. They're not skills, they're magical abilities and so on and so forth. And you get your game wrong.
It's like I
There's a
always
limited number of
say,
those.
no witnesses, no
Mixed amongst the clans. The only new one that got invented was the Blood Mage one. And that required very special stuff to come about.
This was a pretty cool trip.
Anytime a new one gets invented, though, it pretty much either has to be wrought with a lot of bullshit mixing by a antediluvian level entity, or Kane on a lark.
Yes, you do, my sweet.
He can do that arbitrarily with no issue.
Family,
Again,
let's go.
one of the most powerful beings in setting.
Why are you driving high?
That was a solid episode. And hey, here's our big plot villain, just like before. Maybe his plot will get fulfilled. Or worse. We never did find out where that plot was going. But yeah, all those types of things go for pretty much all the different splat classes. They all have splat books. They have all that and such. So mixing them is not the easiest thing to do outside of using it to create, monsters. I was hoping for mixed splat, mostly because I wouldn't say it. Just that double thinking of any version of Magnus that isn't a wizard. Yeah, and each of them have their own thing. The hunters are, of course, you know, the ones who hunt the creatures in the dark. They protect the world. Blah blah blah. Oh, context. The beast thing. I was going to explain that. Vampires often refer to the hunger for blood as the beast. This is referring to it as a separate entity due to, well, both the hunger for blood and their lack of humanity. As that's slowly but surely fake. Yeah, it's mechanic vampires. They have humanity. And doing immoral things and break that. The amount of humanity you have, the easier it is to lose it. I think the system got changed at some point, but I do remember that. I don't know more. At some point, you basically have to be a saint. But at that point, you also get lots of bonuses you don't normally get for being as a vampire. But the lower your humanity, the more and more, well, of a beast you come. One of the best way I've seen to put it.
This episode of Hunter the Parenting, the family of who stole to the family trip at 3 a.m. by the scornful father.
Yeah, I barely understood what that was saying. Hey, primer on the supernatural and local folklore. That actually will be very helpful. Like, I'm not great at doing this because it's been a while since I've touched up on the various things, but one of my favorite ways of hearing it put, this is the audio log.
Oh, what
I'm
a
in the
beautiful morning to... Who the fuck is in my kitchen? Son-in-law!
Good morning, Sidney. Good morning, Sword.
Sword what? Oh, this old thing. Sorry. I thought you were the landlord.
I own this house. We don't have a landlord.
Oh, so that makes you the landlord, parasite. Well, in either case, good morning, mighty almost child. I have...
Still a giant fucking disaster.
Put the sword away and I can see what I can do.
Capital! Consider it done! Ah, son-in-law, my body yearns for my special omelette. Can you make it for me?
Sure. Do you have a recipe?
I'll command the instructions.
Okay, so basically the favorite way I had of describing it for vampires is that vampires don't... whole humanity thing isn't them an arbitrary thing where you arbitrarily lose handy for doing something in an understandable situation. It's you're a monster already. You are a monster with no real connection to being human. The humanity system is itself an artificial construct of you desperately holding on to that. As such, you breaking those rules is you losing your hold on your memories of being human. There we go. That's the way I can see it.
I'll gobble up Brancaster muscles like it's his goddamn birthright.
True.
Norfolk has corrupted
Vampires one I know most about, mostly because it's got that video game attached to it.
The curse it reaches. Doesn't even know what happens in the ocean. I don't. It's terrifying.
And it's the one I thought about, actually being in a game for.
What did you want for your omelette?
All right, so take the deal.
I actually don't know a lot about Hunter, but I also know it's the most straightforward being, mundane people fighting creatures in the dark. But there's other
I
things.
will remind you that I own illegal firearms.
Right, sorry.
And don't forget the milk.
Of course, wait, there's no milk, I think.
No, it's in the bag.
What? Oh. Isn't this unpasteurized?
Louis Pasteur was a fascist in line with the New World Order.
Incomprehensible.
I am turning the newspaper page.
After living on the road for 10 years, I could imagine settling down.
Other fun notes include the fact that,
Cramped?
whereas in Hunter, you fight vampires who they killed, just randomly kill people.
And having stretched past our reckoning, windows to a...
And Werewolf, it's framed that, those people are already dead and they're being puppeted by monsters that want to destroy the world. And the wolves, not vampires, are just doing their goddamn job.
If not in one's surroundings, then behind another's eye.
Yeah, I also don't think you can be turned into a werewolf. You just are born one.
Wow. Deep thinking.
Only as deep as the ooze water at Yarmouth's Pirates Cove Adventure
I don't know.
Course.
Major's entire shtick is they can do all sorts of wild-ass magic,
If
but
there were any justice in this world, they would be foundational
the
philosophies
more
by
people
now.
are around
Nevertheless,
non-mages that
I will
are
begin
around them,
construction of the omelet sauce.
Well, wait, can't I do that?
or even just even limited, the more they have to present it in a way that can be believed as anything but actual magic.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Otherwise, the spell has to start suffering backlash and just not happen, or worse.
Water in Pirates Cove. It always looked so artificial.
I also know, I think it was the New World Artist one that had a funny thing where the highest heights of being a
Ever looked into it?
The water?
mage could result
Well,
in you even trivially doing high-end magic, but not even being
Not.
and it having world-shaking
And
consequences.
I don't think they'd tell anyone if they did have a story.
Like a guy doing one thing and then coming back to find this tiny, around by history, Roman mystery cult becoming a world-dominating religion. That would be our timeline, by the by.
Groundskeeper?
Club head.
Well,
Ground.
But yeah, another thing, main,
Horrors you have in this nation.
the
okay,
mage
so
We shall
thing
hunt
is
them down.
the Norfolk
Science,
County Golf
magic.
Union might find
magic is powered by belief. The reason why conventional older style magic
There is not a
don't work
golfer
and
alive I cannot kill.
is because the science mages convince everyone else it doesn't work like that. Planes? Those don't fly because of all the things in them. They fly because they convince people legs will fly because of all the things in them.
1 tablespoon honey, water, sauerkraut, ketchup, tonkatsu, a bit of RBMK reactor core graphite to
a bit of
taste.
what?
So what with that one?
That's a bit off, innit?
No! Oh, that reminds me. I heard about your little
I saw the graphite bit. I'm not sure what the fuck.
Did you?
I did. Thoroughly charming. Tell me though, are there any similar stories surrounding Great Yarmouth? Or, hell, anywhere around Old East Anglia, as the natives call it?
Oh, of course! It's a whole bloody legendarium. Anything in particular that strikes your fancy?
My mind can devour all in this world. Spectres, witches, werewolves, giraffes. I want it all.
Well, they got giraffes at Africa Alive Safari.
What?
But let me have a think.
I shall drink caffeine.
All right, I've got a good one to start off. For the ghost side of things, one of my favorites is the bizarre tale of the Haysborough torso.
Oh, that sounds absolutely inane! Continue!
Okay, so over on the east coast, almost at the border between Great Yarmouth and North Norfolk, there's this little village called Haysborough, right?
How's that spelled?
H-A-P-P-I-S-B-U-R-G-H.
Your people's rejection of your own language is inspiring. But yes, I am aware of that wretch's hamlet. We lived in the caravan park for a month before this fucking ham of a man banned us from the public bathrooms. Can you believe it?
Why did he do that?
I do not wish to get into it. I divorced him the week prior and it was fucked. It is time for the race.
This omelette has rice?
Fear not, 'tis my burden. You can go ahead and shred in some cheese and chlorine, please. Both are beneath us.
Chlorine.
Okay. So,
Okay, your almost get very weird.
a little south of Haysborough, about half a mile from that caravan park, there's an intersection between...
Okay, so the fundamental thing about Old Arcus is, at the end of days, shit's going to get fucked.
Spectre, vampire, goblin,
It's imminent here.
walking abomination
please,
that is in fact trying to kill...
We're just crossing the roads right now.
Road is what my bus drives on.
Yes. Well, at this small triangular junction, there once was a well. And, well, the well isn't doing so well. Because it's not there anymore.
Damn it! If only I had been there in time!
There is a reason for this. Well Corner, 'twas called, back in the 1800s. For years, local men, farmers and such, made terribly frightening reports of a strange figure
But yeah,
walking up the main street of the small town.
at the end of the days,
At first,
generally,
they said
whatever you're
all
doing,
the silhouette. They
not
believed he
great.
was injured or hunched
there's some
over,
drawback.
not
It's
mad.
usually, it's not as bad as stuff like, say,
But upon a close
the
inspection
vampire.
made by those
Because the
who
point of
were brave enough to
vampire,
do
at least the primary point of vampire, is you're supposed to be playing a personal horror story about
was the figure
someone slowly losing their humanity.
bobbling
Or
behind, hanging from threads.
by some miracles trying to maintain their humanity in spite of all the horror they face and are.
also appeared to lack legs.
Oh, okay, my motion is broken.
It is a world of darkness. That is the fundamental.
Legs.
The world of darkness abandoned the whole in times thing, but
Most
yeah.
reasons, I assume. Anyway, he wore a sailor suit.
Ah, sea legs. Carry on.
He wore a sailor suit and held what looked like a saggy old sack clutched to his chest.
I find this thing interesting, similar to Exalted, which had a similar thing. No, more unified in that case.
Days, then weeks, after report upon report.
That's for all for various flavors of Exalted. Lunar, Solar, so on and so forth, Infernal.
Was enough. Something had to be done.
And each of them had their own subclasses and such,
had, of course, been
with a relative degree of mirroring.
All the way up to the well.
Infernal and Abyssal mirrored Solar because they're literally made from old Solar exaltations.
Crawling down into the murky old well. The locals knew that there was only one way to properly investigate. So they sent
The big theme of that one is unifying myth.
down by a rope into the black well.
You know, stories like, say, Hercules wrestling a river into a different place. Yeah, you can do stuff like that. Hell, you can do stuff like, say, and an opening airlock of a submarine. Grab the water, throw it down, and stare at it like it's a disobedient puppy until it obeys and gently rushes in.
At last, the Dutchman hung above the waters, and with a hook pushed down into the darkness.
Of course, each one has their general theme, because each one has their own origins. Solars are generally people who have
a large brown mass from the bottom.
Success accomplishing something great.
One within which they found the mangled remains of 2 legs.
Infernals are people who almost did that and then failed.
They even installed a new pump and
It's a very deliberate targeting. Abyssals are usually, well, straight up just
the very pump
Solars who
some years after that.
died and got
reported awful groaning deep into the night.
undeaded
By all accounts, the ghost had returned until at last the
till their master's will is done. Similar thing to than Pearls, but very different things. Pearls
ghosts
at least have their own political factions about what they're doing. Abyssals generally are stuck on the one goal: destroy everything. And the Pearls just want to wreck shit with the not actually destroy things, just make things worse.
Even chaos hearkens to the beat of unseen principles.
I'm saying Infernals, right? Yeah. To reform things, to bring their masters back to their rightful place in rulership.
Chaotic valves implode, vampires
And so on and
suck,
so forth.
but never for no reason.
Alchemicals are sort of their own thing, so each class of them more directly mirrors a different splat.
well, wonder, I guess.
Boy, I ought to smack you, but I love you, so instead I flip.
Oh God, you cracked my glasses.
Order and wonder go hand in hand. Whether decoding chaos or indulging in its whimsy, the world around us is a ceaseless den of darkness and delight. Just as there is joy in understanding a fast.
When I need to take a quick break, I need to get a fresh drink. I will be back real quick. And we are back.
The quest goes ever on, Sancho, and whether windmill or giant, my lance strikes forward.
Of course, Dikiori.
Now then, this torso. He seems like an odd chap. Let's evaluate his authenticity.
Oh?
Most spirits tend to be tied to objects, ones that linger from their past lives. I believe the common vernacular is fetters.
Well, perhaps the well itself was a fetter.
Perhaps. You see, to destroy a fetter often destabilizes a ghost, turns them hostile. Like Marcus and his silly game station.
He was really torn up after you crushed it with a hammer.
It defied my will and was summarily punished. Next time, Marcus should share a fairer interest with me.
Look,
Wonderful that works, Sarah.
Fair for everyone.
It should be the least unfair for me!
It can be if you play
Everyone cheated but Big D. Next time, Big D cheat.
Casual.
Yeah, something more casual, like diplomacy or the game of Ur. In either case, it's why so many ghosts act cagey when you traipse into their homes. They're essentially defiling their remaining memories of mortal life. It's typically unwise to disturb them, and even worse when those places are destroyed.
And since the well is gone now...
Yes, you'd expect sightings to soar. However, it is also thought...
Hold on. Okay, nice.
Geists can
Sorry, I
find
had
some
that.
form of peace through these fetters. Perhaps our sailor friend was a native of the village.
He may have yearned for clean water in his dying moments at sea, or as a youth in Happisburg, or some such. Happisburg, Hatesburg, whatever your evil devil village is called. It's pure conjecture, but mayhaps in bringing it to his village, he made peace with his death, before he went to hell.
Which explains why he only came back after the pump was removed.
Right on the money! Though, of course, it's just as likely that this ghost was a Happisburg hoax to get the government to replace an old pump.
Or perhaps a story shared by bandits and criminals to keep roads clear at night. In the book I read, they suggested the chap was a smuggler of some such, likely murdered in a quarrel with his own coal.
Not his own coal will get him. You know, it's always the quarrel you don't see that gets him. That was a funny joke. I taught it to Marcus.
Right, sorry. Likely murdered in a quarrel with his own comrade.
Ah, who can say? Truths like these are
Okay, my shit just glitched out there.
mankind to bring them hissing, screaming into the light for all to behold.
Right inspiring, sir. Speaking of, could I ask how you know any of this?
I once entered an abandoned hotel in L.A. A ghost threw a phone at me. I have studied
God.
the place ever since.
That's from
mock me, Philistines! I'll kill you,
BT and Bloodlines,
I'll
the
kill
game.
all of you!
Generally credited as one of the scarier things in video games.
Do you want to hear more Norfolk urban legends?
Of course.
Cool. Well, let's see. There's loads to cover.
One of the best things in that game.
Priest Holes, the Witch of East Somerston.
Ooh, a spookoy witch.
Sure, we'll go with that one.
Yeah, I do like we'll start with the mundane
In the 15th century,
myths about it, and then filter it back into how it worked in Old World Darkness.
While this was naturally a barbarous practice,
That shit was crazy.
while we know those accused of witchcraft were innocent, the Witch of East Somerston, for reasons we'll get into, was perhaps not. While proof of her deeds have been lost to the ages, stories abound of her sorcerous ways. And for this,
Oh yeah,
she
anyway,
was
the cult
seized
of,
and buried
then
alive
the other
in
ones are
Mary's church
Lunars,
in the little village
the soulmates of the Solars. Not a good thing, and that does include connections to their
proved to be their last mistake, for a
infernal
witch's
and
fire
abyssal
was
counterparts.
rarely spurned. When the ground
Again,
was
not a good
cleared
thing.
for her burial, she only laughed as the dirt
It-
covered her.
a lot of
shattered
Lunars
body.
suffered a lot.
Laughed and laughed as she was entombed within the soil. She could be heard no more. The priests and
Signals,
congregated hunters
stars,
celebrated
and
their victory until her peg leg was seen, jutting out
planets,
of the ground. First a mere
ones associated with
then
spycraft and
sprouting
such,
bulb,
and Dragonborn.
and then a great and mighty oak tree which shattered the church and
The only one
turned its
who
to
can
ruins.
increase their numbers and are entirely powered by increasing their numbers. The more kids you got, the more strong you are.
Should you be foolish enough
And your kids' kids can also
to
count.
her yet with the utterance of her
Their entire point was, of course, to be,
Got him.
excuse
She got him.
still strong enough to overthrow the others, so.
so she did.
Ah, classic.
Are you gonna expand on that?
Nope. Also, I think the story is fake.
With a bit of help from the Sids.
Well, sir,
They knew that.
I've taken you for many things, but never a skeptic.
Come on, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, why would the Christians bury this woman in the middle of their church? What, do they just dig up the floors in the middle of Mass, slap her in?
The story might not be entirely literal. They could have just buried her in the lower levels. I mean, the oak is there, that's a fact at least.
I still disagree.
Why?
Mainly because it contradicts me.
At least you're honest.
Though, I will say, your fake story does have all the markings of a witch's dastardly death hex.
Assuming it isn't fake, of course.
Of course.
I admit I don't know much about death hexes or witches and the like.
I explain. Wizards and stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
They can
Yeah, explain
die
more
if
about
you-
them. Well, so
This
you
is
can die if you
always
should.
a bad idea! Please watch out! Alert, alert, alert,
Point
alert!
taken! Point taken!
The reason for this is the death curse. It's this thing
They
where...
curse you in death?
Correct. Usually to death. It doesn't happen every time you smite a witch or wizard, but often enough that it's very dangerous to attempt.
Oh, bloody hell. So you mean to say if there's an evil wizard running around, we can't do anything about it?
Of course you can. Wizards are nerds. You can easily punch.
Oh, good.
But to be safe, make sure you aren't seen. Or,
I had to remind a rotor wizards went on to get the blood, the vampire wizards. So they, could use magic freely without care of if anyone believed
At
it.
least they're not so hard otherwise.
So admittedly, that was a list of the side effects when they were mortal, because
What?
yeah,
Not vampires.
Alter creation.
Oh. Man, and I thought Kevin was that.
The great and mighty Kevin was formidable. But indeed, were he a true magi, I doubt he'd have survived your encounter.
Our encounter? What about you?
Oh, I'd have been fine.
I admire your optimism, but I remember you barely, surviving Kevin.
Yeah, I think your brain might be wrong.
How would it be any different if Kevin were more powerful?
Really, son-in-law? Do you honestly think your old man would dive headlong into the cave without a few tricks up his sleeve?
Do you want the honest answer?
No! Now be a good boy and add more garlic powder.
No.
Sure thing, Sir D.
More.
Sure thing.
For more!
Sure thing, Sir D.
Now tell me something else!
What?
Tell me about something else.
Think about Sir D now.
Well, there's always our most classic tale.
30.
Mysterious
This
red-eyed
Mongolian
dog
media
East
left over from,
Anglia,
Biggie.
Black Shuck.
Ooh, you have my incredibly variable attention.
Black Shuck is a mysterious creature. Tales of its appearances date back to at least the 1500s.
Yeah, lots of interesting things in both Old World and Long Fid. Lots of fun stuff.
Dreadful red eyes whose glow portends calamity and misery.
Honestly, lots of material for more
Similar to a
BTM style games.
I suppose
They
so.
should have been a lot more
Banshees are more
of things
direct.
done in that
The
style.
howl of a banshee is meant
Done
to
at least
reflect
that
an imminent
quality.
demise and is thought to be a spirit of the dead or some kind of fae or something. Shuck is different. For instance, in 15
Yeah, Fae are a thing. I don't think you play as Fae, but you can play as a Changeling. That's all sorts of shit.
Holy Trinity Church. Shattering through the doors in a clap of thunder, Shuck's appearance befuddled and terrified the congregation. Pitilessly, Shuck strode through the nave, ripping a man and child to shreds where they stood. The crowd stood agape before the steeple of the church collapsed down upon them all.
How curious. Now this is an exciting story.
Oh, well, it gets even better. That very same night, there was a reported sighting in St. Mary's Church. A different St. Mary's, one in Bungay. Black Shuck again interrupted a congregation, this time in a burst of flame. He launched through the crowd, inciting panic and delirium before brushing against two curious individuals in the midst of prayer.
Ooh, the anticipation is killing me.
Before those same two suddenly fell dead like marionettes with broken strings.
Yes, yes, yes! My boy, I am going to kick
What
this dog!
kind of thing?
Oh, son-in-law, surely you see, this little hellhound is causing a commotion, a ruckus, killing people, eating souls, probably barking, which means it's a victimless crime to experiment on him!
Not to dampen your mood, D, but, this all happened in the 1500s.
Time means nothing! There is not a statute of limitations on being a goblin.
He's a dog.
Yes, whatever that is.
Well, I suppose there are modern sightings, though they're far less dramatic.
Oh?
Yeah, usually people getting spooked and being like, "Oh no, mate, that's Black Shuck, innit?" And it is, and yeah, that's the story there. It's kind of lame.
Propaganda.
What?
It sounds like propaganda. Perhaps there is a network of these dogs.
What?
A network of dogs running a joint venture to keep the common man quiet about dog crime and dog poker.
What?
And the only dogs I know to do crime are the werewolves.
What? Oh. Wait, hang on. You know about werewolves?
My boy, if there is a supernatural pest on this planet, you can assume I have bested it at least once. Remind me to tell you
Yeah,
about
but
my
actually
money
have
adventure.
Sir D be the one to.
Second-hand don't you're British.
Okay,
Tell
I know
him about-
the English government has a history of plunder and thievery, but the British Museum can't steal your funny mummy moment.
Presume nothing. Also, burn your national insurance papers.
What? Why?
The power of true names run eternal, even in Meshchan code. So, evil dog.
This is a lot to pack in, and you've barely even given me werewolf facts.
Werewolves, that's right. Well, randomly attacking churchgoers certainly fits their MO, or at least in the period.
Wait, really?
Oh, yeah. For much of their history, werewolves
It's
have
such a
been
flip of their
insane
previous thing, where it
pagan
was
theocrat berserkers.
Ken telling Big E about
Much
everything.
history. What about now?
These days, they're more like insane neo-pagan theocrat berserkers.
Ah, natch.
But some of them go on the computer. And in my experience, those ones
So
are
do the
typically far more
werewolves.
majestic, which is ironic, considering the computer is the devil.
Who'd have thunk it?
I'd thunk it.
The vampires have their own secret vampire
There are things
computer
that line
network.
up and don't line up.
The most
Black
modern,
Shuck is a werewolf.
the modern continuation of old
For one,
World
the
Arcus
more recent
has
sightings
a
tend to be rather
backfire rather horribly. And now they don't fuck with computers anymore.
Just seeing him, maybe something unlucky happens afterwards. Links to disappearances from time to time,
At least
but
for
nothing
themselves.
so dramatic as murders in the middle of mass.
It could be that this werewolf, or possibly werewolves, has simply learned how to better cover their tracks. In the 1500s, outright attacks on religious, scientific, and mystical
Both
organizations
the ones who are best at computer stuff and also stealth in general are the
these days,
amongst the vampires are the ugliest
but
ones.
there's also the matter of modern sightings. Their banality aligns with the werewolf
Actively
phenomenon
cursed to
known
become
as
uglier.
delirium.
Oftentimes show them for people who
And
weren't.
despite how boring these modern sightings are, in Act 1, this delirium is a side effect of the shape-shifting process. Essentially, when a werewolf enters their mighty war form, human beings tend to panic.
Well, I suppose I might panic too if a giant monster jumped out at me.
And we'll work together to break this bad habit, son-in-law. But that's not what I meant. I mean, a supernatural panic. Supposedly, there's some resonance in the psyche of mankind with werewolves. This primordial hunter, blah, blah, blah. That's true, anyway.
Well,
But nevertheless, when a mortal witnesses a werewolf's war form, they tend to go briefly mad.
mad how exactly?
Well, they might run away, or freeze up, or attack with insane vigor.
So
Often
fitting in
their
the person
reaction depends on the strength of one's
and
will,
roll.
So the average person flees?
and usually with no recollection of events. Worse still, it's almost impossible for normal humans to avoid, even in part. One must be either extremely
Again,
strong-willed, or
werewolves
superstitious
oftentimes
to
are
avoid delirium.
aren't killing random people. They're
Have you
killing
ever
monsters,
suffered
flashing
with
as people that have.
Oh no, I'm built different. But those
Fucking
without
in the
these
world.
bulging brain muscles are in for a world of hurt. I train you and the others for precisely this reason.
Oh, that's what it is in their platforms.
Dear,
And werewolf
oh my
games.
God, I'm losing my chance for a 3D iteration. Oh God, help me. Destrucity. That's the word.
Last word's a bit of a stretch, mate.
Ah! Ow! These are the things I instill within you with my relentless chicanery.
Is that why you ruined Marcus's 12th birthday by dressing as the Goblin?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Okay, that was really traumatic to him. In RS, he exclusively levels his combat stats killing goblins.
Then the student has become the master.
RS game that RS is.
Hey, don't fight a werewolf, by the way.
Yeah, I heard they're tough. But with how well we did in the tunnels against those vampires, I'm confident that...
Oh,
No,
What?
you aren't ready to fight a werewolf, son-in-law.
yeah, no.
The fledglings we fought with here some years
Yeah,
ago
fledgling
were
vampires aren't nothing.
well. Werewolves
You don't
are
fuck with-
keen
you don't
machines.
fuck-
They are supernatural soldiers.
you don't
fighting
fuck
a
with-
war we barely understand. Do not fight them.
Do not fuck with werewolves in Old World of Darkness.
Take your warning to heart.
Not without being fully prepared.
But what if we're forced to?
Their weakness is silver, due to their combat with the moon. Silver bullets, silver knives. Use them. Focus
Get
on
away to somewhere
evasion
safe.
and trickery.
Hopefully, you can find
When
somewhere
they're at
safe.
the most dangerous, they're at their most feral. Blind them, distract them. Trust your wits, not your fists.
Right.
For reference, there's a very good demonstration of this in Old World.
Because it's omelet time!
Shit, I forgot the omelet! It's burning!
Fear
BPM.
not. It's just the way I like it. Here we go, and now the sauce.
Is it supposed to smell more like egg than eggs do?
Yep.
Why are you putting it in the blender?
Oh, to blend it. Yes, Big D's home-style omelet, aka sulfuric acid.
You're not eating that, right?
Silly boy, I would probably die or throw up. No, this is for our illustrious guest, the great and mighty Kevin.
I understand. Wait, there are way easier ways to make acid. I understand nothing.
It's the principle of the thing. Besides, Kevin's a vampire. They can't eat food. By mixing the acid with food, it makes it even more unpleasant.
Is that gonna kill him?
I mean, well, I don't yeah, I don't know. But ideally, it would come to this. This is just for torture purposes.
Somehow that's even worse.
Relax, it's actually very funny and
there's a
and
point when you get
besides,
jumped by a
it's
werewolf.
the threat of torture that's the most important.
It will
That
kill
old
you.
tree mare will crack like an
It
egg
will
before I have to
kill
use
you.
this stuff. Mark my
At least
words.
once.
Tree meat?
There is a way to kill it,
That
but it's
is
very
the
hard to do,
name
and most people don't
of
even
one
know
of the
that.
vampire clans.
Just
Everyone
escape.
hates them and wants them to
Just
die.
escape.
Onsody. What's
Well,
the civil structure like? Are they bloodlines,
I should-
families, impersonal syndicates? Do they confer abilities? What are their secrets? Are there any Norfolk clans? What are the other ones? What's an antediluvian within this context? Why does Piotr hate them?
son-in-law, I have two cruel
Antediluvian is pretty flush. But more generally, it refers to the grand kids of Cain.
Vampire lore is tricky. More than any other supernatural creature, vampires despise being unveiled. They relentlessly hunt any breach of their vaunted secrecy with organized and military precision. As such, though I know much, I speak little of it, and sadly, share even less.
Oh, of course, but surely you can trust your own family.
Trust has little to do with it. Say I share all that I know. Indeed, to truly destroy this foe, we must understand it. But if I do so carelessly...
Yeah,
Notice how the conversation started. I carelessly said the word Tremere.
Oh.
Yes?
Oh.
If we were in public, in a restaurant, or on
Tremere is the guy who,
we would very well have
became the Antediluvian.
Oh, that's a tad extreme.
That's a lot to say in that context. He was a mage, and he became...
To blend in with us, to convince us their existence is but a fairy tale. Any breach in this masquerade is a threat to their very existence. For even
Then he found a way of becoming effectively an Antediluvian in generation, artificially,
should wider society discover
and brought many of his people in with him.
might well eradicate them. For while an especially mighty vampire could slay 100 more...
The main vampire government really doesn't like it. Though there are some who don't give a shit about the masquerade so much as reclaiming their place as masters of humanity.
Its ancient rays scorch even the eldest of their kind to chockled bone. Vampires cannot be rid of their great adversaries, for the sun is beyond their reckoning, and humanity vital to survival. Thus, most work to preserve their masquerade, hiding in the dark, carefully balanced upon webs of intrigue and murder. To further this end, vampires have many agents. Ghouls, they call them. Mortals grown addicted to vampiric blood. These half-men gain a whisper of their master's power in exchange for fanatical servitude. Unlike their masters, though...
Very good education, a little bit on it.
Their eyes are everywhere, and they watch vigilantly for the slightest breach of undead omerta. This is why we hunters are responsible for the vampire threat. We learn as much of the vampire as we can and spread it safely to ensure these parasites become the forgotten myths they pretend to be. Even this is a treacherous task, for we cannot know which parts of our collected vampiric lore are mistaken assumption, the earnest truth, or malignant propaganda.
I see.
Yeah.
So rest assured, I
Some
will...
of it is deliberate propaganda. Dracula was real. Not the king of vampires, but he was a very powerful vampire, originally, I believe, a ghoul. Bred for,
Blood hunt.
bred specifically for,
Which is
food.
dumb, because it's kind of just what it sounds
I believe, cattle.
Every vampire in the region hunting you for your blood.
Hard to figure out.
Breach not our veil of secrecy.
Still,
Well, it means killing you, because they don't like you killing people unless you have to.
Kyoto flashed in.
Yeah, you're
out of
actually
visibility
supposed
on
to.
security cameras, and I swear that Ape-Boy gets uglier every time I see him.
Ape-Boy was the Marcus of the group, right?
Absolutely.
Fuck him.
Oh yeah, fuck him.
But yes, the questions are valid. Let me say this then.
Two different
Piotr,
ways.
That sludge lad?
Not the right term, is it?
Oh no, but that clan are vampire info brokers, so it's one of the scariest ones to actually know. Sludge lad is just fine for now. We're going with sludge lad.
I don't remember what they're actually called, but
First, their ability to turn invisible. Some can even use vampiric magics to alter their appearance.
It starts with a no. That's what the vampiric ability is actually called.
Their ability to
Individual.
control animals.
Nosferatu.
Lads are known to use legions of...
Thank you, Nosferatu. They're the ones cursed with the ugliest.
Who better to eavesdrop than the rats in your wall? All the worse when they're ghouled by their undead masters and gain a smattering of their vampiric magics.
That explains your intense pest control methods.
Listen, I raised Dor on a steady diet of home-hunted spy rats, and look at him! He came out American! Isn't it awful?
And so the third and fourth things?
Thing 3 is that they're ugly.
Yeah.
But ugly.
Ah.
Like,
Don't pity them. Honestly, some of them make it work.
Oh god.
yeah, fundamentally, they can't blend in with humanity like everyone else.
Kyoto think I was hitting on him?
I can't say for sure, but also yes, definitely that was the case.
Shit!
Fear not! I will not inform
my son about your tryst with the sewer child. Oh,
They do
and
indeed
the
lend in the sewers,
super
yes.
strong and can juggle dubsters.
Oh. Oh no. We have him in a tiny cage. Is that going to hold?
Well, if he hasn't broken out, did Door make the cage?
Maybe?
If he did, no worries. If he didn't, why didn't he?
That's true.
Well, the lad could be biding his time. Or he figures he can't break through the big vault that is our cellar, so he's waiting for his chance to escape. Or he could just not be very strong.
Oh. I see. Or, well, I mean, Marcus insists his kick was pretty alright.
Oh, vampires are capable of some superhuman physical feats.
Yeah, so,
But he probably couldn't throw a car.
but some are.
Trained as he is.
Good thing we stabbed them bloody then. It seems like a pretty big weakness if their strength is beholden to their amount of blood.
And the amount of blood they can have is based on their generation.
Notice the many caveats. For instance,
Oh, enough, and you might not even start showing any of the. Yep.
Each new passing of the supernatural disease that is vampirism, the power within the blood of each new child lessens. Additionally, the vampire's unique magics are
Barely count the vampire. Still getting some of the worst weaknesses, but not even the benefits of being part of a clan.
But all must have time and effort
Oh,
put into them.
third flow were from vampires, anarchs. They just want to do what they want, so they agree it's probably best to keep up the masquerade.
It'd account for his performance.
I believe the Roja are more them.
He seemed like he'd be tougher than he was.
His kind are sometimes brawlers, but Pietro
Nosferatu are part of the Camarilla. That's it.
A straight-up fight seems out of his element.
That's the main vampire government.
Comes from which of his other skills.
And Spot, and that's the third.
So
The ones who want the second, the one that's wanting to do away with mastery and just assume control of humanity.
On camera tells me his specialty might actually be invisibility.
The main reason they do it, they know they're not ready to do that, pull that off.
Or ugly.
Yeah, he's really honed that into an art.
I've seen ugly.
Fair
Oh,
enough.
no, wait, I think it's the big thing is that they're more concerned with the antebellum coming back and killing them all. Yeah, which is a strong possibility with their ancestors.
Conversation about essentially everything in the world.
Ancestors are in torpor, they've been asleep a long time, they're going to be very hungry, and mortals aren't going to be enough to feed them.
I'm sure everything will go well. Just remember,
Give or take.
evil opportunist like Piotr can be the death of you.
Duly noted. Underestimating any supernatural quarry.
And
is
it takes a
very
lot to
bad
put one of
idea.
those fuckers down.
Exactly.
A
My
lot.
performance in the cave is evidence of that. I am the most experienced and skilled hunter of this family. Yet, when I let my guard down, an inferior foe holds me at knife point. This is something you must truly understand.
Hunting isn't as simple as a video game or an action movie, huh?
I am not a video gamer, so this absurd language doesn't touch me. Commando, however, is an excellent piece of cinema, so I'll say yes, you get it.
Say, what was up with those tunnels anyway?
I will tell you when you're older, by a few days at least, because I'm tired of these questions.
Aw.
I like this.
But guess
I do like this.
myself,
And it's all framed through the hunter system, which makes sense. This is.
It does indeed.
I am sad it didn't go for the mixed splat.
I'm fine. I'll take the runabout. Let's go spend.
And if Rust isn't a fucking werewolf or something werewolf-ish, I'm gonna be upset.
Good fortune on the road, and fare thee well.
Farewell, I shall.
And son, know that I am very proud of you and your blender.
Thank you.
Ta-ta!
Adios.
We are in Mexico today. Damnable penguins, bloody bones,
Yeah, I like that. I've done a lot of wiki dives, both for older versions of them.
With voice work by Thunder Psyker as Kitten and Speaker D as Big D.
Oh, he still is Big D. Huh. Alright, I'll go back to Big D then.
Macker. Sound composition by Alpha Busa. Mixing by
That was excellent, guys. I really like that. It managed to bring back some of the informative nature of
with lead writers Speaker D
that got
and Alpha
put
Busa.
that helped put
Script editing by
Texas speech device on the map for a lot of people, informing people about the
Special
setting.
thanks to Blessed.
I'd recommend VTM. So,
Portions of the materials are the
if you do
copyrights
not
of
understand VTM, I should.
AB and are used with permission. All rights reserved. For more information, please visit worldofdarkness.com. Visit patreon.com/alphabuza
Paradox is the new owners. It used to be a group called White Wolf. I wonder who owns the Consultant now. The same people? Anyways, VTM. If you want to put primer on that, VTM. It really is good to explain because, yeah, you're a young vampire just embraced. That I was like, what the fuck? No, that was part of the video. Roving of Kevin.
Well, if it isn't the great and mighty...
And it's in our audio.
You dare say my name with hints of ridicule in your foul
The premiere aren't usually that obvious of visitors, but yeah.
I'm orangutan fan number 1!
Liquid simian, absurd well-aid, come here so I may take a sippy.
Tempting, but instead I will hit you with my pants!
Off the skull!
Griffin, you know nothing of the noble forest people.
If only God would forgive me.
All right, you're forgiven. Hey, I've got something for you.
No further omelette. My organs are a stew at the sight of it.
Oh, not a chance of that. You don't get the omelet unless you're feeling uncooperative.
Fool! I will never cooperate.
Then omelet it is!
Oh, anything but that. I'll do anything.
Will you cooperate?
Fool! I will never cooperate.
This dilemma smothers my brain. You know, this omelet is especially potent. My son-in-law had his blender melt concocting it. He had to run out to the 99p store to get a new one.
Why would you look for a blender in a 99p store?
Maybe because we wanted to buy it for 99p, Kevin.
What next? Will you go looking for the 99p plasma television?
What? They have plasma television?
Fuck!
As if gas stoves weren't enough. The monsters!
Fuck! Your skull is like an empty wheelbarrow.
But yeah, affording it, the game is reeks of some early 2000-ish stuff.
Don't worry, there is a solution.
It's mostly the local round, and also it's not an entirely finished game. It's the last thing the company made, and yet it's so fucking good. Both as the introduction into the settings, and at least for VT, the vampire side of things. Because again, you're a young vampire. Freshly based against the rules, and your sire got axed.
I am an evil wizard.
And you got spared because the anarchs objected, and the local head of the Camarilla went, you know, I might have a use for you, so you get to live. I mean, he didn't say that, but that was it.
Listen here, you wacky weirdo!
Still a very good game, both because of the roleplay capabilities, all the things, the fact that you can play a Malkavian, the ones who are who with future sight and not who are all there, you get an entirely different feel of playing the game with that one.
No weapon fashioned against me may prosper.
Because you know you're prophetic. You will literally break through the wall. You will have conversations with your TV. It's super interesting.
What are you doing? What are you doing? No. No. No.
Just,
Let's see here.
No.
Don't bother with guns unless you have to. It's not, like, thin. It needed a lot of polish, but it couldn't get that because the company basically died almost as soon as it was released.
My day job was stressful, and also I have psoriasis. What do you want?
Your day job? Oh my god, what was it?
No, I won't tell you.
Come on, that's not even a support secret.
How do you even know what the Sabat is?
I have been deliriously obliterating fools like you since the 90s.
What old time of the 1890s?
Wait, old?
Okay, I'm tired of screaming now. You can kill me, dude.
Oh, that eager to die.
I could have sworn the spot was the name of another group, but I feel like
So I'm hoping my
I feel like it was also a thing you're not supposed to say, but I feel like that is the name of the group.
I'm sure
The group that opposes the Camarilla.
S is for tools and luck is for losers.
I guess I'm just a massive tool then.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kane's your cab driver. He never directly says that in the game, but hints are in the game files. It's great.
My hated last name, my embarrassing age, my failure to obtain...
There's supposed to be a mod that helps flesh out the game more with stuff that got cut and some fan-made stuff. But it double dips into the 2000s stuff, so I recommend it first, at least a second playthrough.
No papers.
We're in accounting, eh?
The economy was my muse.
And of course, if you play a Nosferatu, it's a very different game too, because you know you can't walk around the surface break. Is an automatic mass grade breach.
That's great. You have any ties to that life still?
Yes, you know, it's kind of funny. You know, I'm like this powerful wizard of Kane, our king.
You own a cat named Smurbles.
Smurbles is evil too. He once peed on my rug, and I threw it in the washer, and then I took it out of the washer, and I dried it, and then I put it back down, and he peed on it again. Very evil little boy.
Bastard.
Anyway, I feel so good, and I have power coursing deep within, and I know it's the truth, but...
Also, vampire games on Twitch, you can find them.
No worries, none of the others can hear you here.
I know of one that I haven't actually got around to looking at the VODs. I just know a streamer I watch got called in to play a character. Very fun.
To bad human Kevin. I still own my apartment for my human life. Kevin is still on the papers. I still tend to be alive now and again, which, you know, that was a huge problem before I joined the Sabbat.
And I'm sure it's even worse now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
100%. It's not like I can go telling my packmates that I own a flat in Great Yarmouth, right? They'd eat me. But I do sometimes just kind of sneak out and make sure the neighbors don't report me as missing or anything.
Oh, that's radical. Fight the power, man.
I mean, yes, I have transcended the mortal coil, but you know, that apartment is quite nice. Built-in AC, it's not too bad for rent. I had just saved up enough to buy it when I was embraced, but now I have some kind of higher purpose, of course, but that part still kind of stings.
I totally get it.
I'm actually thinking about how to manage it now, since I still do have to pay for quite a few certain things pertaining to the apartment, but it's not like I can have a lot of money going out on crusade like this, right?
Right, yes.
But actually, even when I was with the Camarilla, I didn't quite earn enough to make do on some
Yeah.
things. And they
I guess this must be based on the later stuff
Well, I
in
have now,
or the old
so
world,
nobody won't have any
if it is old world.
credit, you know?
I feel like this is old world.
Kill you.
Yeah, Repo
The big thing is for Premiere they got broken. They used to have this entire thing where, much like how you could bind a ghoul to you as blood,
Property, my
you can bind other vampires to you in a similar manner.
We don't, you know,
And they basically did that by default.
you know what I mean.
I thought you were about to say that the property your family lives on is haunted. Like
And
all
then
the
shit
people
went wrong
in
with
there.
Premiere, and
Yes,
here we
that's
are.
why I came there, although it's not haunted anymore.
In fact,
Lived in that bus.
no Tremere can do that at all anymore.
Yes, we've lived in the Golden Goose a lot. It's our second home. I've driven it across the world, and most of my family has lived in it at one time or another.
Fuck. I wish I was a bus.
I would highly recommend it.
Room.
Vroom. So true. But yeah, the issue with the house is that my son-in-law owns it, and honestly, he is the only one that can really pay for it. But, well, he
I like this little chat between them.
fairly recently.
That's rough.
It is.
And it doesn't bring up the yellow fact, part of the thing of it.
Horrible tragedy. I won't get into it. But just as you said, there's a lot of other things that have to be paid for. And with money getting tighter and tighter, I don't know. I sometimes fear it will all just slip out beneath our fingertips.
That's terrible. Are you all
The
looking
people in
at
Hawaii, they might not be human anymore. They still people in some form. They still have some.
Well, okay, I mean, I can't pay many bills. Does hunting come before your home and well-being?
Of course, fool! Once one learns the horrors that lie immediately beneath the surface of society, you cannot return to normalcy! It is not possible. That is why
I mean-
taught my children from birth that the overwhelming darkness that lingers around us is a part of our natural world. Just like, say, a horrible disease. What we do is we cure.
Still got a day job, and yeah,
Always takes precedence.
and at normalcy in order to get the money to fund it.
Disease. It is a fun present, wrapped up in funny paper that looks like bees.
As fun as haggis and oven-made Brussels sprouts and Africanized killer bees.
Haggis and Brussels sprouts are good human foods, you fucking child. Organ meats and tiny
Oh,
cabbages.
would you like to eat some right now? I can go snatch some from the co-op if you're so fucking
I
inclined.
want to suck up your liquids and then piss them out over the deflated balloon that will be your remains.
That is so funny. Oh my god. Fuck. Where do you get all this?
I'm an accountant. Do you know how much I hate mankind?
Yeah, that's some good shit.
Well, I'm looking into renting it out to some ghouls, actually. That would probably solve most of my issues.
Oh, so you're an up-and-coming landlord?
Lord is out.
Housing should not be a commodity, and In fact, we should remove houses, castles only, with
Base.
moats and murder holes and Greek fire crocodiles.
You are sick in the brain.
And you are a leech in every sense of the word.
You are as shoveled out the head as the fucking anarchs.
You use a lot of sacred vampire words without qualm or worry. I respect that.
They have tried but failed to slay me for years. A blood hunter, my blood shall always come up dry.
Ironic you should say that, given your current position.
I'm still standing. Great mighty Kevin keeps on kicking. Oh no.
Also, yeah, the time out there a little bit less fucked about than the
With your nose bones.
You are
Camera.
ignorant of all cartilage. So, you say you were in the Camarilla, correct? The Camarilla, as far as I know, don't appreciate defectives.
no, they do not.
Your kind is something
They consider themselves the rightful rulers of Vampire Archives.
Oh, how I loathe it. That elitist sect has controlled the Canite for far too long. Their worship of the elderly and all their primitive traditions makes my bones.
Antediluvians, to be exact.
Are you familiar with the masquerade?
yeah.
Then you know why I reject it. You know why I reject the Camarilla and its highfalutin rich boy play act? That I must gingerly play the role of an innocent human at their behest when I have become so much more is despicable.
Well, I hate the machinations of the proverbial man as much as the next very cool guy, but I feel you may have gone a bit far with the whole join the evil monster sect that is the Sabbath thing.
Yeah, no, the bottom of the ones.
I am one of the few smart and powerful enough to fuck off from the Camarilla pyramid scheme into a new pyramid scheme I can actually win at.
Which is quite an accomplishment, given what I know of your other pyramid scheme.
You speak of the Tremere Pyramid?
Ah, yeah.
It's getting down well geezing in here.
Unavoidable. Also, you're not.
Yeah, like I told you, Clint.
Your true bite. Must be embarrassing how you almost got owned by us in the tunnels.
Rather than talk about how dumb you think I am, I'd rather talk about how cool you think you are.
Acceptable.
Now then, I understand the House of Tremere exerts intense control over its membership.
House Tremere is what it was called when it was mortal.
All of Clan
Oh.
Tremere are forced to become bound to the hate.
This is before that happened.
On pain of death. They are each
I believe the big
bound
thing
to
about
rule
what happened
the
with
clan.
Tremere is that
Its rulers in
the
Vienna.
method for which Tremere became antediluvian back for
It is slavery. You're a
Yeah.
slave to your sire a slave to theirs, and their sire and slave respectively all the way to the heads of the clan. That is the dastardly pyramid.
Impressive for you to break free from such a headpiece.
Impressive indeed.
Ow.
Oh, the process was agonizing. Imagine for a moment, if you will, a stranger in your mind. Something deep within your cognition that floods your thoughts with their own. Where there should be anger, there
Yeah, I
is
didn't even
love.
think that was possible
Where
for
there should be
re-breaking of
hatred,
the
there is obedience.
pyramid,
You think these thoughts are wrong.
which I think had to do with the fact that
But even that feels grossly repellent. You chastise yourself for daring
right. So one of the things vampires can do is they can move up generations, diabolize them, eating another older vampire, specifically an older one.
adrift in all
Very found on, very
by your
obvious.
own cognition.
It takes a while to make it so that
From
the people who can
mere
detect it
suggestion of
won't detect that you did
independent
it.
thought. That is the blood bond. That is the pyramid.
And you are basically devouring them entirely into yourself. But not too much power for you. That's not too
Your
much problem.
sympathy is hollow, my foe.
High enough in the food chain though, and
Well earned by the
they might still be there.
On that we are agreed.
I won't go. Well, actually, no, I will.
Houdini.
No!
But maybe not now.
You can't be! I killed Houdini!
A true magician never reveals their secrets.
Ah, but you are not a true magician.
What? You disrespect the art of blood magics?
Foolish Kevin. I know blood magic is not true magic, and I know more than just this. I have hunted for years with many organizations.
Yeah,
I
sure.
have picked up many disparate pieces of your clan's history in my days. From your thievery of vampirism, your diablerie of Saulot, and to
No,
your
there we go, he said it.
great war with the
What are you
ancient clan.
fucking babbling about?
What do you mean, babbling?
Babbling is in what are you fucking babbling about? I have no idea what you're even saying.
Oh.
Dude! I am a 27-year-old accountant turned wizard. I do not know ye old fun facties.
Savant
I
was
know
an
not
antediluvian.
what a masasa is. The
I'm
internet is not
actually
a right
forgetting
road.
what that one is
Wikipedia
myself.
costs money to see.
It's not something you can read about on the so-called interweb.
Well, actually, you definitely said that one.
With the,
That's not even widely known in
wizards
vampire
or
rules.
something.
Oh, yes, I know a little about this. Are you a wizard?
What?
They turned
You
themselves
are-
into.
If you're a wizard, it's the rules.
What I am is about to kick your ass, Pewbeard.
Are you a ghoul?
No.
Perhaps some fairy of some kind.
What?
Are you a race car?
Damn you, Kevin! You have ruined this perfectly teachable moment about ancient history!
Who cares?
I know you don't, but you
Well,
understand, Kevin? Do you understand how long I could have talked about something I know stuff about? I'm infuriated!
Your anger is my victory. 1 point for Kevin.
Yeah, so he diabolized a lot.
I am de-escalating
Became
out of
a new
That is also my victory. 2 points for Kevin.
Confound thee, Kevin!
antediluvian.
Confound thee!
3.
One of the few that was out and about. Technically out and about in a more modern era.
You're lucky I'm dead, or that might have killed me.
Good.
Agreed.
Now tell me how you escaped the pyramid.
Only if you discontinue slapstick violence.
I make no guarantee.
I hate cartoons. Good enough. In truth, I was the progeny of a high-ranking Tremere, the right hand of the Regent of Yarmouth herself. She was a cruel and stupid
Oh yeah, the regents.
much like you.
Very high ranking there.
See? Just like her.
Yes, I see.
The Regent herself was even worse. For my dreadful sire was a maniacal toady for the Regent's own schemes. So lost in the sauce of her own blood bond, she thinks of little else beyond fanatical devotion to her master.
Sounds rather unhealthy.
Yeah, no shit. However, though mighty sorcerers, neither my sire nor the Regent could navigate the world of the mundane very well. Thus, they required a neonate to aid their schemes. I was chosen.
Yeah, that's what they call the fresh ones.
To the fold as the Chantry's treasurer.
Interesting.
No.
The anointed tax documentarian. Here in my prison.
Oh, that's really that actually is really good.
Gold mine back in Camarilla territory.
I was after more than that. I am blessed with highly potent blood. Blood of the 9th generation.
Oh, that is
Sire was of the 8th.
potent.
And the Regent herself is the 7th.
That's a couple generations up. That's actually enough power to actually do that.
Blood, rivaled only by Shitbeard and his ludicrous 10th generation pizzazz. Alas, poor Piotr, the 12th generation rube, the buffoon, the tool, less potent than even ape.
Curious. I always took him as the leader, so.
Tragically, he is the tool. Though he is of weak blood, he has been undead the longest, and thus is the most experienced. This makes him most suited for the position. What now?
Ooh, do I sense a conspiracy of ruin?
No, you don't. You heard nothing. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, what the fuck?
No, you had nothing! What were you talking about?
I was telling you my pyramid story, remember?
Oh, right! Carry
Anyway, yeah, the main thing is, I believe, that was one of the big things in the end of days, and
I was the Regent's grandchild and accountant. Yes,
Slot woke up
about the harsh financial reality
and
of
took
the modern
over.
world, I fell swiftly out of it.
Sure didn't even have a fighting chance.
That you need to pay your employees a living wage. Mind controlling or blood bonding them works only until they've run out of money. Then they starve to death. Or the tax man runs the numbers and find out yours make no sense. Everything must add up or you will be subtracted from the equation.
Taxmen, the unsung heroes of the world of the hunter. How I hate them.
Do you like roads?
Yes!
Then you like taxes, you bilge rat.
Of course I do. So long as I'm not paying them, that is.
Your stupidity is giving me a rash, Big Dean.
Big Dean! Big Dean is my ex-wife! And you haven't finished your story. You fell out of favor, and then what?
Then my undeath became a living hell. The Regent's attention fell upon another, and my sire's attention left with them. She chided me for not being sufficiently slavish or East Anglian enough, encouraged me to either deepen my blood bond or be abandoned. I was left scrounging for arcade lore from the shelves of the 99 pet stores, utterly useless, unwanted among my clanmates.
Well, such backstabs are to be expected in the vampire world.
Spare me the lecture. I am being very vulnerable right now.
But lecture I must! If you were torn from your clan, why not mingle with the others within your sect? Or even those anarch fellows? Why go to the Sabbat of all things?
Yeah, why go to the shovelheads of all things?
I discovered soon after Embrace that I was unwanted among the Camarilla. Few trust the Tremere, for they fear their might and pluck, and thus my fate was sealed. My comrades thought me a pest, and all beyond thought me a bootlick. But I would show them all. I left the clan. I left their society, so that I may destroy them. For I am the great and mighty Kevin.
Actually, I can't remember if shovelheads is a term for just the Smart General or the Smichi.
You understand?
I do.
Some of the high-ranking members of the Smart.
Forgive me.
Flesh crackers. The guys who make who will build their furniture and shit out of people.
I broke free from the pyramid with
Very gross and weird, fucked up shit.
can boast of, and even fewer can boast of and live.
Yes, but you also hold massive ties to your human life. And that's a bit of a no-no when your ideology revolves around dissolving your own humanity in a stew of beasthood.
Yes, I sentimentally hold on to my humanity at times. But haven't you seen a cat? Cats are great. Fact is, I broke the pyramid's blood bond through will. Sheer, unflinching will. And the Voldery also. But yes, pure will.
The Voldery! Now we've struck gold.
Congratulations, ye old tiny prospector.
I actually don't know very much about them.
Kevin Ford.
Actually, I know everything about them. In fact, actually.
Explain it.
Oh, sure, yeah. It's just E2, E3, E4.
Okay, I will explain it, you pansexual panbearer.
That's a good pun.
I knew you'd see it my way. Deeper.
Climbing slowly toward your two-digit intellect. Please, no more panic.
Social credit deducted.
Fine. Voldery is one of the Sabbat's foundational rights. It was among the few ways I could be prematurely liberated from the pyramid. It's a communal blood bond between members of a
But yeah,
formed from drops of blood from
all vampires are monsters, but the Sabbat aren't the incarnation of that. It's all about giving in and becoming it. And doing everything you can say at the stop yourself from getting gained by the antediluvians when they awake.
Hooligans actually stand each other's presence from time to time.
Sad but true. Without these
They can't really figure that less,
we would have all murdered each other like.
but they still think it's still something to worry about.
Exchanging one blood bond for another? Isn't that just more slavery?
Yes, but also not even slightly. There is an alteration made through this. We tend to be far more chummy with each other for about a month after it's renewed, much like a library membership. But the effect is far lighter than even the meekest of blood bonds. Attachment is for mortals, after all, except if it's a cat. The hard part isn't enduring the vinculum. The hard part was finding the willpower to take it in the first place.
I see. A picture is beginning to form, Kevin.
Is it a pretty picture?
This is where I actually don't know a lot about this stuff.
Fuck! Okay, seriously, what is that?
Kevin, are you happy in Sabbat?
Groan! Are you going to try and drag me into the metaphorical light?
Maybe.
Wake up! No! Oh, drat, I just did.
You have an apartment, a cat named Slurple.
Hey, don't yap your mouth about Smurples. I have yet to find him a forever home.
You know, Kev, can I call
Fucking hell, you called it a furrow. Yeah, no. You don't want to be a Sabbat. You just don't want to be a camera leader.
From fledglings to anciliae, even a mighty Methuselah once upon a time.
Bullshit!
Oh.
Bullshit! Our
So,
ancients
you know,
are beyond even the stoutest hunters.
Say what
The
you
whole
want.
focus my Methuselah. That's impressive.
Long ago, my father, my siblings, and myself bested a Methuselah. I believe they were of the clan Lasombra, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's one of the Lost clans.
True. You are a
Yeah,
far greater hunter than I had
much like how there's no more of the Slot in his clans are no longer one of the big names.
A story for a later date, perhaps. I'm focusing on you. Let me ask you a serious question.
There was another one I can't remember. One of them had time fuckery powers.
Or did you join
That got replaced by the guy who would become the Bruja, though much earlier on.
This is what they
Oh, and the Malkavian or Malkavia.
Okay, Dee. You beam with power and
Malkavian, Malka.
premium radiance.
The names of the different groups are named after their founders.
Sexy full man.
Malkavian, just Malkavian. Somebody that was thinking there were more less letters to it.
Tolerate life as a mere
Got turned on by the other Antediluvians because they couldn't stand him.
become my ally.
He might not be gone.
Why would I
Whole
serve the first
psychic network of mental illness that is the Malkavians may or may not contain him within it.
You gonna find a big enough rock, big boy?
May or may not isn't just me being mysterious. It's also a major facet of the world. You know, maybe the GM didn't want to roll with that. All right.
You will not find me wanting in my conviction.
You... No, you are actually insane. You can't kill Cain. You eat hash browns. You have children. You
Yeah,
have
he
swords
went.
that accentuate your bulbous behind. You...
Yes.
You live in Norfolk. You are a mere mortal man.
Yeah, no, he went and killed Cain.
Just sauce like some kind of freak. Greater champions than you have tried.
Yeah, you don't fuck with Cain.
Have. Yet I will succeed. Though I'd settle for wiping out the third
Even that's well beyond you, bud.
But you're also stupid cool.
Oh, darling.
I just want you to join my funny crusade.
Well, Kevin, as a K-Knight, you should by all rights be stake for the sun. But honestly, I can't bring myself to kill you. Instead of serving as unwitting mercenaries in a petty war over North.
But no, he said no chance against Kenny. He'd probably stand no chance into. No, he said no chance into Oblivion.
And regent of a new paradigm shift was such
I'm pretty sure
the masquerade
one of them took a fucking satellite laser system to the fucking right on top of him. Full military might. The best of the techno guys from the mages line, the science wizards, could bring down. And they're pretty powerful. And basically did Stiddly Squat. Well, I mean, I think they hurt it, but they didn't what? Well, it's a lot.
What gives you the right to rule over this?
Rights? How very glib of you to speak of rights, K-Knight. You who live by force.
I do not live.
Silence! You have drifted far from your vaunted wisdom, K-Knight. You are far more human than you could ever dare admit. What is more liberating? The band of monsters forcing you to erase your humanity? The maniacal sorceress tossing you aside like a rag doll? Or rejecting both? To face the world down, head to head, and dare it to stop you? The freedom that comes from either worthy death.
See, I'm
triumphant.
It's really good. I'm just not convinced he's actually serious about that.
Allow me to tell you a parable. A parable about one named Kevin Westworth. Kevin was born in Ipswich to a middle-class family. His parents were devout followers of the status quo and primed him with all the tools necessary to lead a pleasant, stagnant, unexceptional life. Kevin became an accountant, about the only field in which he truly excelled. But his dream was always to accomplish something more. So he broke away from his life in the suburbs, moved a bit further north. He decided he will make it big. He will do something with his life. He failed. And so, Kevin got a job as an accountant in Great Yarmouth. But Kevin never gave up. Don't you understand? Kevin may have been trapped in the mire. He may have been an uninspiring person trapped in a dead-end job. His dreams and aspirations might have been dying, but they weren't.
There's the quality writing I come to expect. In the humor and all that.
He was going to make rent every week. He was going to move up, see the world. He was going to do something. Anything.
Definitely interesting to see how this is going without, 40K trappings, even if you got World Darkest trappings.
Now you know the rest.
Well, perhaps I know a part, but neither of us know the ending.
Spare me your optimism. It was stolen from me along with my life. You cannot know the feeling of the embrace. To wake one day, your skin cold, your heart still, ravenous, inhuman. But once there was a world, friends, colleagues. Now there is only.
Yeah, a lot of things about those guys made sense if they were Sabat and not Camarillo.
This story comes to no good end. I cannot follow my dreams. I'm a scrounge to stay alive or sane. I cannot remain human any longer. My only hope is to embrace a shadow of this dream. To embrace the beast. I hope freedom is on the other side.
Freedom never comes through surrender.
Perhaps not. That's the only chance I have left.
If you truly believe that, there is little that can be done. The sad quirks of circumstance will see you degenerate into a monster and die as one.
I should repeat what I said about the vampire, being monsters pulling on to humanity.
A chance to claw your way out.
That isn't really there.
Find a different path for all of you.
That's only one interpretation of how things are handled. It's just one I really like.
Rise and take it.
I also like this. You missing his life?
Well,
Like the
suppose I could tell you
Pluto underwear.
a secret. That the Regent would not want hunters to know.
It was very well done. He had a lot of the humor. a lot of energy that makes the character work, but also
Kevin, put your pussy on, quick!
No.
You have listened to an audio drama by
a lot more humanity to it
with voice
than you
work
got.
Speaker D as Big D and Arendil as Kevin.
Than you would usually get
By Eliphas. Soundtrack
for
Macker.
the Emperor,
Sound composition by
because this one is a man.
Direction by Stringstorm.
And one nowhere near the height and power.
Alpha Busa.
Oh, he dreams big like Big E did.
Writers, Speaker D and
Make the
Alpha
world-
Busa. And script editing
Prove
by
the world for humanity and all that, but
Special thanks to Blessed for gorging on the feet of the innocent. Portions of the materials are the copyrights and trademarks of Paradox Interactive AB and are used with permission. All rights reserved. For more
Very.
information, please visit worldofdarkness.com. Visit patreon.com/alphabusa for updates.
very interesting, very well done, and very
Thank you
educational.
for listening.
This one I actually have a lot of pretty compelling knowledge. Because like I said, I dived those wikis. I find that the way these games are running fascinating. If I do have some,
Now, my friends,
or I should say, White Wolf constructed games. Paradox Interactive does it now, but White Wolf had a certain style.
once upon a time, there were two little children, and they ran into the forest looking for adventure. Now, what they found in the woods was, you could call an adventure. They found a valley of corpses. Now, being the curious little children, they ran down into the
What even am I looking at?
Oh, the stench and the smell! Oh, it was intoxicating! The little child, one of them, he looked to the side and he saw the corpse of his deceased grandmother, and she stood up and she took
But yeah,
him by his throat and said,
You never came by and visited me.
oh,
You just ignored
this is a
me.
recording of recording session
You fuck.
being presented in a very odd way.
They ran away, but behind them they could still hear
Sure
grandma's
dang.
howling screams. Oh!
Errors had a tortured wrestling match. Chapter 2. Second proper episode. Oh. Okay, so I mistook those parts as at the acts. So we know how many episodes are in a full act. And yeah, here's
Don't make me say it.
the stuff that screams are loud. Do not do them.
Boy, oh, the boyest of boys! Please, I beg you, let us begin.
So Kevin is the one Big D thought he could stuff out of. But
tonight.
Must I guess?
Mustard comes in gas?
Why don't you open up a can and look inside, you little fucking wretch?
Do not ruin my son's first interrogation, Blank.
Oi,
Oi.
I know I'm not the only one here
Yeah.
that has watched
Yeah?
Interview with the Vampire.
You make this joke every time.
It is a clever and funny reference.
Stab me!
No.
You fuckers! You don't know what it's like!
Oh, here we go.
You wretched, pissy fuckers will never know what it's like! You go out in the sun and buy cream crackers, your wheat bix, and your fucking cream crackers! You finished college and
I mean, I suppose the Sabat could have pretty much anybody be a member of. I just don't really think of Roja as Sabat.
Your mundanity is something we will never have again! We are persecuted by your refusal to yield to your letters! And when we deny our nature's Kane's own principles of universalizability are shattered!
I'm sorry, Kane's what?
Get up! Anyway, the point is we cannot eat cream crackers anymore!
Let's speak of cream crackers as some halcyon dream. Boy is on an all-meat diet and has never been stronger.
I keep getting the meat sweats.
Not now, son. I'm speaking to the monsters.
Monster? Oh.
Not good for the kid.
Monster.
You are pathetic. Blank bodies are parasites. You kill people and you eat them.
Blank bodies, that's what they're calling them.
Is to abet genocide.
Abet genocide? You are genociding us right now!
Your life has already ended, Tick. I can't kill a corpse.
Holy fucking shit, fellas! Wouldn't this guy make such a good Ventru? Kindred do not live, we unlive. Ooh, we do not do things all day, we do things all night. We do not X, we vampire word.
Hold on. What is a venture?
Oh, whoopsie. Now I've platformed the antediluvian concept of clans.
Good job! Good job!
Who cares? The clans in the Masquerade can burn, along with all the other Camarilla Anarch bullshit.
Camarilla Anarch?
The Masquerade?
Camilla, the first vampire.
Oh my god, Peter!
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Are you afraid of a little masquerade breach? Well, take the prince's pussy out of your mouth and start acting like Canaanites, goddammit.
Prince is the general term for the person in charge of the local city area for the Camilla.
And we could.
Peter, we don't got the resources yet to
You
make
drinking cami piss lick? We're the goddamn Sabbat, the Sword of Cain.
The Ventru are the nobles of the vampires.
What does the Sword of Cain do?
It falls
The blue
where it
bloods.
pleases.
Amen.
Camarilla
And much
Anarch
like-
Sabat. Noted.
And
Camarilla's
they
not
have
like
a-
gorilla, right?
They're the most charismatic, the
Okay, these are
manipulative,
essentially political
mind
monsters, I
controlling,
assume.
The
even though
first
they're
one's
other kind.
free, sweet pig. What are you gonna give me for the rest?
But they also have a very
You already
selective
know about
palate.
Camilla, the first vampire.
They only can eat
Always
one kind of
suspected
person.
She lived in Norwich.
First vampire. You mean the prince?
She is a sterling example of degeneracy. She and her posse sitting in their ivory tower in Norwich, forcing Canaanites to stay hidden. They call it the Masquerade. I call it censorship.
Preventing murder is censorship now.
Prevent murder. As if they could.
No, as if they would. The Camarilla's all about murder.
Just-
Murder Kine, Murder King. Do you
Mostly
know?
murder kindred.
Dense. Kine means you guys, humans, mortals.
Again, very helpful
And
explanation.
while you're wasting time with us, the Cammies are playing you like good little puppets.
Come again.
That's just a common tactic of theirs. See,
They do
we
can
support
have
believe
basic
in
shadow
liberty
controlling.
and revolution.
For vampires.
Canaanites. That's right. But the Camarilla, they believe in slavery and serfdom for our kind.
And what about our kind?
Yeah,
Your
even
kind are just
the
livestock.
camera. You're not really
That's
supposed
it.
to go around murdering people.
That's just the way.
You
it
have
is.
to, and
No matter
it's the
what
tough
you
stuff.
do,
Understandable. Like, it doesn't
mortals
cause
are
any
just
problems.
meat.
You gotta be careful.
The only way out
Feed,
is the
you don't kill.
embrace.
You drink just enough,
So, if you
and you
want
move on.
liberty, well,
and try to be stealthy about it.
we can give it to you.
And of course, eventually being connected and powerful can avoid some of the issues with that.
You're saying you will exchange freedom for freedom.
It's either us or them. We are the children of Cain, and our manifest destiny is to rule. Praise the Dark Father.
Intriguing! So, why haven't you been murdered yet?
Because the Sabbat doesn't fuck around. We're on a warpath, and our cause? To see you lowly, juicy apes serve your natural purpose.
So you're just here to kill.
No, you fucking snail wretch, you're wrong as hell!
Oh, so now you grow a pear shitbeard.
We don't just kill, we're smarter than that. I went to college, son!
Is that why you were hanging out in that tunnel? Murdering joggers in the dead of night? What major is that again?
Political science. We conquered that tunnel, purged it of Anarch filth. It's our turf now.
Ah,
This,
that explains why, you know, it looks like people, a lot of people, more people than this live there.
District. The district of North
It
Northern.
is the new theater for the glorious crusade. A domain to bleed
Alright.
out as we please.
Hey, boy, your brain's a drain pipe. Plug it. The Anarch barony ain't moved an inch since we were chased in here by the Cammies. Our bases still need building up.
Oh, yeah, man. Really selling us right now with the base building.
Fuck you, Piotr. The categorical imperative compels me to tell you the whole truth about why...
Cat is not a novice philosopher.
Fuck you, ape boy. One must act in
This is
accordance with that
shitty
maxim
basis
that
for
through which you can
parliament,
will that it
shit,
become a
stop,
universal
stop,
law
stop.
following
So,
the...
not
That's
to
fucking
disrupt
hilarious.
the discourse, but you're at war with this anarchy barony over.
No, I suppose my earlier things were pretty cool captions. It's funny, it's a lot of Discord is probably. That's right, no, you'd have a lot of trouble actually just playing everything that was being said when they're literally talking over each other. You're not supposed to fully understand what you're saying.
Monarchs, you know, they have the spirit. They have their ideals. But they lack purpose. They restrain themselves just as the Camarilla.
He's doing it again.
They refuse to unleash their beast. They want a petty revolution, but for what? To continue hiding? Proud Cainite, dost thou hear the call? Purge your degenerate humanity and live
As your forefathers do.
Okay, dude, turn down the LARPing. But I have so much more to say. You're barely in a Sabbat ape. You haven't even partaken in the Voldery. So stop angling for HighPriest and stay in your fucking lane.
It is very embarrassing.
Vampire LARPing is a big thing, so that's how we're gonna trigger a little bit there. Well, not actually. I'm very amused.
Hey, speaking of,
that's actually the first time I've heard of LARPing, isn't it? Or
He is having
Vampire,
a
also.
special interview with our father. Nothing you need to worry about.
21 has a good video on his interaction with that. Please, yeah. That's a term for a war between vampires and such.
Okay, right, so, as has been made abundantly clear, you are basically vampire supremacists.
We are Cainite naturalists. And listen, I like you. All of you. Fair's fair. You did kick our asses. So, I want to extend the offer. Why don't you join us?
Immortality is pretty tempting.
Marcus.
Come on. The old man would never expect it. Not that he can't join as well.
Wouldn't that be funny?
I'm being serious. Immortality, supremacy, a new family. What do you say? Are you in?
Oh, that's very tempting for Marcus.
Well, it is tempting. You know what's more tempting, though? Having everything we do from here on out being morally justified.
Yes, exactly! Liberate yourself, brother!
Because we'll be doing it against a bunch of vampire fascists!
Yes! The Sabata! Oh!
You got it, good!
I'm so hungry!
Oh, there we go!
Hey, you do know what happens if we don't eat our fill, right?
Tell me.
The beast shall come out now.
That what you're calling yourself, Sideburns?
The beast will come out. The beast shall need to crunch your neckies open and from them.
Neckies?
The beast's birthright is your blood, and it will have it, for its will is mightier than any other.
I really like it. It's definitely like 40k. Not 40k, but CTS handling of 40k.
So is this guy just like
They're much more intentional now because I remember they were shocked that people were actually learning shit about the lore.
What?
And of course, there's all just like TTSers, their own take some bits of lore. This will have, not to mention, you know, just their own plotline stuff. Same thing with World Darkness, but that's standard.
Okay, alright.
Come, boy.
We step it out from the cellar?
Yes.
Leaving these here.
Yes.
What if they break out?
We'll drink your hide dry as you sleep.
They will not. I have fortified this room. This cellar door can withstand a force of 18,000 pounds per square inch. No blank will make its way out.
Okay, yeah, I understand all of
I'm
that.
not familiar with the white bunny term for vampires, but then I'm not super familiar with Hunter, so.
Okay.
But no, there's actually a medieval setting for a couple of the Old World Darkness stuff. It was, and I think those are actually predate much of the other stuff. That's where the House of Tremere came from before they were clans. It's pretty much like the ex-children. Ex-children. That's the only way to say it. It's the only way, but these vocally firm favorite tribe is the horse named Horse. Yeah, great dad there. Ken often served the settlements on boy. However, when they first met, it was sick and pretty with puberty disease. Thing about it was big stones. Cured with meat to now. What? Puberty disease. The fuck does that mean?
upstairs. Let's go to the office.
Oh boy, Pooters.
A sick video game rig, brother.
Well, yeah.
Spent a lot of money on this instead of, you know, a gun.
TF2 is coming out next year. I am justified. Now.
Oh wow. Yeah, this is definitely old World War II. Keyword old. This is definitely before all the big things in the hidden vampire chat rooms and such were blown open to the public. Again, the entire subset. I don't know when TF2 came out, but that's a good point in the settings. That
the quality isn't great, but we can see and hear everything going on down there. Okay, so here's my idea. Let's have them eat each other.
Like, literally?
Yes, literally. We have no clue what happens if a vampire eats another vampire.
And
I want to find out. Here comes the moral stipulations. Look, feeding doesn't necessarily mean killing.
I mean, we are stepping over boundaries just bringing them into our house. Or should I say my house? I own it.
What, the boundaries set by the fucking Arcanum? I don't feel like following their tenets after being banned.
You know what? Let's take this later. We're just gonna start.
Okay, so he's definitely got some Meiji connections at least.
British royalty in front of boy. Boy, sing our national anthem.
We're all living in America.
Okay, can we begin the experiment now?
Make them eat the lava first. He's the worst.
Right. So, microphone.
Good news. You're getting fit. Go Buckwine.
Are you fucking serious?
It's the science. Besides, La Valeria over there seems willing to take one for the team.
No volunteering me for blood duty, degenerate.
That's really kind of your call.
Forget it. The Sabbat will never turn on their own just to slake their own hunger and
You fucking rat!
Fielder, help me hold him down and...
You shitty little...
Monarchy it is!
I would punch your blood out of your body!
And here they go!
Speaking of the
hardcore three-way elimination match with three
honestly, I don't think the Fallout would really care as much about that. I mean, they still probably
We've got a hell of a show for you all. We're right here in the action. We see some offers coming from the biker guy at the speed of the LARPer.
He's looking for his opening and... First
But you consume the vampires, consume everything they are indeed. If they're hired in, that can be lead to issues.
Savage is right.
I had an idea for a character actually about that.
There is some bad blood here.
Look at how he's just
I have to actually play the game with it before I
There's no time to go to, Marcus.
link to it, but you know.
Is this a reversal?
Vintage biker bro.
Oh, that was actually Friday really good at animation though. It was actually for the close thing. I mean, not in their usual style, good animation.
Sludge lad, break the pin. Hey, is he still hiding?
You can't see him. Could his time be now?
That was a very funny reference, boy.
Thank you. Say, do you think this is a solid warning of what happens when one embraces their monster and loses their soul?
No.
Boys, would you look at this?
That is
Larry
exactly
is
what it is.
retaliating and... Oh, he's doing it!
Don't do
He
this as
breaks the
easily.
hold!
Reverses it. Is this some kind of hold?
No, it's DDT! It's an impaler DDT!
The biker is down.
Banging and banging.
Oh, I hate him.
Believe the LARPer went over.
1, 2, 3. Marcus, I'm not sure that biker will ever ride again.
Me neither, Door. And look, in a shocking turn, the LARPer's calling Slime Boy out!
Piotr, you tree-sonus dog! Fish your death like a true Sabbat.
You know, Abe, I always liked your spirit.
Theater.
Tastes great.
Sludgeman was invisible! Good Lord in heaven!
Like this.
He was a very young generation. Very low. Lowest in the group. Lacking in power.
Hey, kid, shh, don't worry. I was just putting on a show. After all, we're family. You mean it? Do I mean it? Come on. What do you think?
Oh. That's a very good use of their animation style to make things fucking creepy. Very well done. Ooh.
That's, not
Really?
legal.
Marcus, this is barbaric.
You're right. Slime Lad is beating the larper to death with his bare hands.
Store, come on, man.
What? Why the change in tone? Blank bodies aren't people.
Well, yeah, but it's still...
It doesn't matter.
They still look like
Whatever
people.
this is, it's horrid.
Didn't you say you wanted this one to die first? Isn't it a bit late to object now?
Oh, not their hamburgers.
Notice the crowd go mild. Am I good to collect my winnings now?
I'm assuming the JR is a reference to a certain character.
Guess for the experiment's sake.
Thank you kindly.
And it works out for him because it makes him stronger and higher generation, he has a chance to gain out. Of course, again, a difference, strong enough difference in strength and it's a bit confusing. I remember one thing where a guy ate him and
You were uncomfortable because
was
the one
in a torpor,
seemed so
and it ended up refusing into
But I can
this
assure you,
adult entity
he
born
is
from
no
both.
different from the creature eating him alive. All vampires are destined to become monsters. Each one slayed is who knows how many lives saved.
Well, that's right, at least remember
Is
they
why
look
I
like
do
people.
not hesitate to cheer and make sport of their death, and why you shouldn't either.
I don't know, Dad. It seems like it might be more complicated than that.
It is.
Son.
Like, even
I
if
learned
everything is
many
true,
harsh
they still
lessons in
look
my
enough for
old
people
mighty
that you might
days.
get into
This was
in
one
a
of
moment
them.
where you do.
But you are right, boy.
That might
They are
fuck with
also
your feelings
afraid
for.
because they are British.
What?
Boy, national anthem. Next verse.
You'll take my life, but I'll take yours too. Living in America.
Thanks, Ape. You were delicious. And now, a second helping.
But yeah, like cause problems with actual humans.
You know, Ape Boy, I actually thought about sparing him. I kinda liked him. But you, despite the vinculum, old man, I never liked you.
No!
Oh, that's very well done. Yeah, I think.
So this was all horrifying.
The truth is, yeah, they still have their humanity.
Hey, kids! I got some rather tasty information out of that Kevin guy. He told me that Chapter House and Yarmouth. Adam, what are you doing?
Hello, Father. We were engaging in a marginally sadistic professional wrestling commentary.
What the fuck is that vampire doing?
Oh, yeah, we made them meet each other to see what had happened.
You're letting them deoblerize each other?
Yeah, I mean, what?
You stupid boy! Letting
Never told
vampires
them.
deoblerize each other in
Never
our
told them.
cellar? You're
At
going
very
to
least
have
that
me.
piece. Salvador Smash. Yep,
Immediately
barely
break out.
a vampire.
The door.
What?
He broke through the door.
Now he's more than powerful enough to escape. And possibly take them with him. Oh! Oh, that was all very well done. Fan-fucking-tastic. Oh, that was well done. A mistake brought out by Big D not telling his kids shit he should. How familiar. What a shocking surprise. It's like, look, I get the rest of the things, but you should have at least told them that. I don't think that would have been as bad as the others. After all, you're admitting they even exist to them. At least bring that. Do stuff like that. Like, if you don't know, it's an interesting experiment. The only fuck up is you had no reason to expect it would offer that large of a power boost. Again, the size of a vampire's blood pool, as well as the strength of their traits, is based on generation. Even eating another vampire from a different group will still strengthen those traits. I think sometimes it also can have other effects, but I'm not a full expert on that. Those are my like pillar sodas to me, but maybe that's just me. Wait. I'm glad our chorus group is here, though. I do definitely wish to see those guys and Russ eventually. Oh yeah. I think I got one more.
If you wanted, it'd be very appreciated if you considered checking out our Patreon.
Oh, on vampire version of them. But no, vampires can actually use a vampire ability to appear more human. For Universal, it basically spins blood to warm up their body and such. So, yeah, not something they do unless necessary, but warm up the body, bring back the sensation of flesh, free and such. Oh, no, that's... Oh, yeah, free was the last one we were going to do. And that would be it. Ah, that's a reference. I don't remember the exact thing, but it feels familiar. Uncle Mark had a loose kettle in my house. I just want to sleep. Yeah. Yeah.
Shit. Marcus, you do not let vampires diablerize each other unless you know exactly what you are doing.
How the fuck was I supposed to know?
Yeah, you never tell
Must
anybody.
I tell you, son? Playing God is a sometimes thing. Shush! Be silent!
He could be anywhere.
Yep.
Fuck. Hey, Piotr. You know, your name's like wrong. It's the Slavic version of Peter, but pronounced phonetically.
Boy, this is very bad.
Got it.
What are you doing? If he's strong enough to make Dad sweat, then it's silly to fight him here. Come on, he's an ambush predator. If we get him outside, he'll have to fight us out in the open.
Marcus, it's 2 stories. Don't.
Huh? Ah! Fuck my legs!
God damn it.
What? I fucked up my ankles. Oh God!
God damn it, Marcus!
Fine, Mark, everybody. What do you think would happen?
Calm down.
It hurt me. Oh, shit.
Marcus, take this gun. It will protect you.
What? Oh, okay. Throw it to me.
I am dropping it now. Oh, no.
Holy shit.
Marcus!
Marcus, you can. Try and make it for the road.
Sure.
Safer there.
No matter how powerful he got,
You, close the office
shotgun to
door.
the face will still kill him.
Then we will know if he gets in.
Okay.
Or at least take him out. He's gonna burst.
We
Okay.
cannot remain here.
What are you planning?
I will saw a hole in the wall here.
What?
That way, we can make it out onto the carport roof and jump from there. It is far safer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, my son. As canny and practical as the old mining days. I shall aid you.
Can you really do it fast enough?
Yes. Father.
My ass!
They didn't tell him.
He's crawling on the wall!
Out of here!
Oh, we see him inside the house, is it? But yeah.
Go and take care of father. I have old mining equipment that
Being
can
a
help
hunter
us.
is an uphill battle.
I'm going for the
I
carport.
think that there are some advantages. Strong enough faith can actually hit the fuckers. And at least some of them can have government predicting. No, not this one. They were strong enough to throw a car.
Oh, I don't like how clever you are. Oh, Bog!
That was at least the plan.
Bloody trap hole! You should have taken my offer, lover boy.
It's usually not that dramatic, I don't think. Usually, you know, it's only something that's been really visible,
Don't worry.
with the ability to see auras.
I'll be right with you.
More cowards. Like, what? Weirdo. And then looking his own eyeballs.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, hell yeah! I knew these would come in handy!
Really? Oh, wow.
Why didn't you go for the road?
I couldn't just leave Dad. Why are you on stilts?
Fucking hell.
Where's Door? And again, the stilts. Very distracting.
He's in the workshop. Hold on.
What are you doing? Stop! Wait, you're gonna...
Let me get this straight. You're leaving your family behind to make an escape on... fucking stilts?
Maybe.
I can run faster than a car and leap buildings like it's nothing. The stilts are cute, though.
Fuck you!
I've gone up a lot of generations, that one. That's potency. Which is, I think, also the name of one of the vampiric abilities.
Predictable vampire. If I attack without thinking. Man, today is just not your lucky day.
Fuck you!
Wrong answer.
Oh, God, he's lucky his head is so effective now.
Wait, stop! Well, I was gonna ease up, but if you insist. Oh, ski goggles. Parting in such a sweet sorrow. But don't worry. I'll take my time just for you.
You are truly as pathetic as they come.
Very glowy eyes there.
I try.
No!
Comedy
You're
glasses for a moment there.
truly pathetic. You talk a big game, but you're nothing, and you know it. Back in the tunnels, your first target was a child, and while you were getting your shit pushed in, your friends did all the hard work. How did you repay them?
Moralizing over that death gauntlet.
You were their leader! If you gave a shit, you could have stopped it! You didn't even try! Instead, you hid. You had something to gain, so you ran away while your friends tore each other apart.
It was survival of the fittest.
Bullshit! They were your comrades! And you smiled, you bastard! You smiled while you murdered people
Even
dumb
the
enough
beast
to
was no human.
accept you!
I bet you think that really pissed me off.
I get... Okay, so he was just taking his time. The only reason that didn't definitely...
You seem
guys
to
take
have
from his body.
difficulty understanding that I'm the goddamn Sabat. Mercy,
Definitely fitting it.
Shame, human weaknesses. I am beyond
sounds like a lot to me.
I see what I want, and I take it. If I can take it, it belongs to me.
Yeah, evil campaign plays Sabat. You want something at least interesting? Or, well, I think so. Sabat can have interesting. We want something interesting involving, being a human and such. Oh, it was a minefield. That's... Oh, it was a minefield. That's why he was on stilts. Shit beer. Date of death. 8th, 99. Got the King's College Bikers for Blood Donation Drive. Experience 95. 8th. Yeah, September 5th, 2005. Cause hidden ahead of the show, put in a mass grave. Yelter. Underwater welder. Race by workforce superior during undersea Sabat operation. Didn't piss him off, but got at him arrogant. Didn't think, why is he walking around on stilts? Very lucky he kicked him far enough for that work. These two characters trading clothes and drinking together. The sex within the vampire underside that sees themselves as the chosen of the first vampire, Cain. The biblical figure like an eldest of God. Even though it was part of the Great Canadian ancient grandfather of Cain. Yeah. Chowder is, Sire Chowder. The vendors of clans and their betrayers of Cain's pure interests, however, they aren't just packs of random people forced into worldly balance and like living towards violence, inhumanity, and final death. Yeah, Cain doesn't give a shit. Cain does not really give a shit. Occasionally, he'll take some interest. Like what happens in the plot of the game. He's your cab driver. He's not doing that for no reason. Actually, you know what? It might have very well pissed him off just by virtue of implying he wasn't a good enough savant.
You set up a fucking minefield in your own front lawn.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked.
Beyond human, but not beyond rage. You little pricks. You'll die screaming.
Blank body.
And there's his armor.
How does it feel?
Well,
being prey again.
Prey.
Visually reminiscent of the armor he wore, but
now's the time to
what?
crack jokes.
Do you think I'm joking?
Hunter bravado. Your dime a dozen trash. This shit'll heal in a heartbeat.
Too bad you don't have a heartbeat.
There you go again. Stick up the ass Ventrum material. You're even the last man standing. You and the kid. That's rich. But your jacket won't save you.
He doesn't need to save me. Just slow you down.
We'll see
when they get actually smooth,
interrupting
non-traditional for them animation.
You know
mixed in with theirs.
You can't reach me in time.
It really runs them.
Maybe you can jump over these mines. Get to me before I pull the trigger. Maybe you can, but maybe you can't. Maybe my gun finds you. And maybe the force of a 45 caliber bullet sends you plummeting straight to hell.
Yeah.
Me? I like those odds. But you...
they're obvious on that angle now.
To lose. So the question is... You want to live forever, son?
Still very weird, but they make sense now. Oh my god, his pants are down, so...
I'd rather measure the dent in your skull, shovelhead!
Oh, very good use of that distraction.
Die, Hunter!
No.
And he gave another gun to the boy.
It'll all be over soon.
Oh, and right in the minefield.
I don't wanna die.
Yeah, stakes and art won't kill him, but not damage will. Decapitation will.
I knew you were.
It's like deathmatch in real life.
Okay.
And the kid's getting all this up because, you know, person
I'm
shake.
planting mines on my front lawn now. Ow.
What happened? Is he dead?
No, I think passed out, or whatever the vampire version of passed out is.
Yes, good. My
That would be a... fuck, I said it several times, but the word slipped me.
Can you hold me? Oh,
Keyword something. I mentioned it several times.
I believe what Father is trying to say is...
Porper.
We win.
I finally helped. Holy guacamole.
I'd say you did more than help, boy. You saved the day.
I shot a bitch.
Take pride in your accomplishments, boy. We are all very proud of you.
I have a concussion. Please! Oh, please, good job, boy.
Boy, I'm super proud of you too. But, should we call an ambulance?
We can't do that. Not until that thing is dead.
Oh, cops!
It will be, boy.
Yeah, and that's the other issue. With, hunters. Gotta, you know... not really allowed to have a lot of these things, especially in England.
Marcus.
Man, are you gonna lecture me right now? I know the window is a bad idea, but please!
You should come with me to the ring.
Oh! Right. Maybe if you play Gmail with us.
Fine.
Oh my god, yeah.
I can't wait to show off the Hovertub house.
The Eternal Kleiner Death Machine.
And boy, you've done so well today.
Let's be honest
As a
here.
reward, I
Thor
will
would
bake
love
you a cake.
Gmod once he
Any
figured
flavor
out what he can do with it.
Venison for days, yes!
All's well that ends well. So, who's up for some ambulance?
Oh yeah, are you good, Grapey?
I can taste my teeth! Go back to sleep, Dad. You know what? Getting my ass beat makes me hungry. Let's go eat some cream crackers. That'd be alright.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I actually have a house alarm that calls 999 when...
Shit.
Maybe I know weapons. You're not allowed to have them. And yeah, you gotta come up with explanations for all the shit that just happened. Why your mind, feel guard his mind, all that type of stuff. And you got to, because with shit like that, you better have back connections with back alley doctors, because you might have survived the fight, but what's happened to his feet? You ain't going back in the field. The monsters have all the advantages, even with their disadvantages. Alright, I've watched this multiple times, and there's nothing going to be new here, so let's skip to the end bit. Return in Arc 2. I really like that. I really do. I've always liked their stuff, but you know, there was a tiny little fear of maybe it just won't translate well to a different series. Nope. There are some things I kind of wish, like you know, Magnus being withered, but I suppose it makes sense. They're going on Hunter stuff.
Where the hell am I?
Greetings, Peter.
Oh God.
Welcome to fucking hell.
Okay, doing their usual shtick with an actual human face and head is a lot, and I'm not too fond of it. Oh, the next one would have been the guide to Bigby's guide to avoiding arrest, but that's too long for today. So instead we'll spend I'm just going over and talking about it. Like that. When a creator you like goes on to make something new, you can never quite know if it works for you, especially when it's supposed to be a replacement to an old thing. I'm glad I did. I really like their. There is nothing else out there that looks like their stuff, and there's a lot of advantages to using purely their own making stuff now. For instance, they get some really, honestly, horrifying and sometimes beautifully animated moments mixed in with their usual style that really brings it to life in a new way that I would have never seen. Sure, I have yet to see any. I'm not sure if I'll ever get anything as fun as that time Ken stretched that one short where Ken kept stretching until he consumed everything. But I like it. Like these characters. And it's another setting to have explored in an interesting way. One, I was always interested in a lot more than 40K. I've never been, before TTS, I really wasn't big into 40K. Warhammer interested me more, but not even that was a lot. But because of stuff like VTM, I was already predisposed to have some interest in this setting. Or gestalt setting, really. And yeah, right. Sorry. Immediately, I like that White Wolf's Exalted are always told more, but that's more because I've just seen some interesting stories told in that world, and well, mostly it's the Infernals. The Infernals are fun. Hold on, I haven't checked this in a bit, but yes, okay, it's still good. For reference, I talked about Infernals are pre-cycled Solar Exalted. I'm not going to go into things, but, well, basically, like, the Exalted were cursed. Each great curse manifested at least a different way, but each of them came with improvements with drawbacks. Solar Exalted came with this fancy way of helping maintain sanity for longer. Or, if a Solar Exalt broke down from the traumas of war, well, you just have to cleanse it clean and start anew. Rather than a cycle of passing it on and of semi-reincarnation that you could do elsewhere. Now, they'll reach a point where they would just snap, and they snap for a while, and they mostly go back. Except the Solars became the inheritors of the world and ultimate power, and they lived long enough that even when they were reincarnation, that those breaks kept building up, and truly horrible, monstrous things happened under their reign. Just truly fucking horrifying. Hence the reason why not all Lunars are happy to see their soulmates. Truly monstrous enough that the Sid rolls maxed out them. And well, I don't remember what the Lunars upgrade with. The Sids also had their own thing. They got even better at manipulation and planning, but only when working on their own, and it actually shut down. But yeah, Great Curse, final thing of their enemies. So there was a rebellion. Most of them were put down. The Exaltations were captured, imprisoned, and then someone did the jailbreak and caught a bunch. Some leaked back into creation, same of the world. So, and now it's generally what you play, the new Solars. I think they imprisoned all of them, and some got captured by the Abyssals, who helped. The Abyssals are essentially ghosts of their enemy, things who created the creation and the entire mechanism of reincarnation afterlife, and didn't build it for them. So when they died, brain got clogged. Now they're stuck. Rather miserable. I'm upset about it and would like to finally be allowed the rest. Just happens the only way they're doing that is to break reality completely. Infernals, the ones I like best, are also some of those. They have been mostly scrubbed clean. Or with the Solars who just got theirs gifted back to the souls they belong to in exchange for joining the war against their masters. Infernals are the losers of the war who weren't killed but were crippled and transformed into horrible monsters, shells of their former selves, quite literally. And Malfeasance are really fun because they're basically compelled to act like supervillains. If you're doing a mixed black group, and you want your Infernal to be even remotely a good guy, you have to occasionally don't do it in a supervillainy way to keep their own. It's fun. also Malfithian Son is hilarious. How does that work? Oh, you need to sink into that building. Well, what you're going to do is, the building across the way is going to erupt in nuclear radioactive hellfire. While everyone's distracted with that, then you walk in. Right. But yeah. I've always been interested in the thing. And I was really humble, and it's great. I'm still gonna be sore about never getting to see these characters finish their arcs. As noted here, these aren't the same characters. He might be a shitty parent with 20 kids, and with big dreams. But he's not the almost god who, rules over humanity and is untouchable but all but the most powerful things. Most things in this setting will fuck him up, and there's not a goddamn thing he can do about it. No matter how skilled he is. The fact he apparently took out a Methuselah is a fucking miracle of all things. Just goddamn. Methuselahs are really high up there. They're not quite antediluvians, but they're fucking close. Magnus is no wizard who was a traitor turned back and trying to deal with that and his dad's manipulation. But he's still dealing with the after effects of his dad. Is not always stellar decision making and his dad's own shitty decision making. Ken's honestly the one who's best off because he's not, because while he is in some way taken care of being the homeowner and everything, and probably the only one that does things that actually make money, it's also, not the actual caretaker of a giant rotting corpse who he's become to worship as a god. Then had that slowly broken out both by the guy pointing out, no, I'm not a god, but also just by being a giant asshole. But one he still wanted to help anyways. Or in anything. Dorn is actually feels still fairly on point. Just, not a Primarch. And boy, well, doesn't have all the shit boy had. Sure, he's still the cute little son of the group, but, doesn't and he's definitely got issues from what the shit's going on in his life, but he's not, had the cog and the Imperial machine issues he had before basically being adopted by a Primarch. But I don't like it. I'm really glad something of these characters are continuing. And I get to hear more of these voices. They're all great. Even if, I keep going on about Russ, but I really like Zoran. He's hilarious. Especially when I see him do VTuber stuff. I don't watch it all the time, but especially when he's with Takahata and the others in the bar. Fucking hilarious. Just great.